thought we'd play one of those hit singles from the 80s that we had. And this one's I really do feel close to this song, but I'll tell you, you've never heard it till you hear Eddie Vedder sing it, so I thought maybe Eddie'd come out.
From a dream. Oh, I never known nothing quite like this. Don't it feel like tonight might never be again? Maybe we know better and try and pretend. Honey, no one could have ever told me about this. I said, yeah, 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 yeah. And waiting is the hardest part. Every day you see one more card. You take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. Yeah, I might have chased a couple women around. Oh, the year got me was down. Yeah, and there were those who made me feel good, but never as good as I'm feeling right now. Baby, you're the only one that how to make me wanna live like I wanna live now. I said, yeah, 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 yeah. And waiting is the hardest part. Every day you get one more part. You take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. You take it on faith, you take it to the heart. The waiting is the hardest part. Yeah, the waiting is the hardest part.
Eddie's going to be back a little bit later. We got a long way to go.
Woo! Good morning, my friends. Oh my gosh. Oh man. I am you, you are me, and we are here. People, today is the first day of April 2025. It is also the first day of jury selection in Karen Reed trial 2.0. The second time that Karen Reed has gone to trial for a crime that she is factually innocent of. And we are here to show our support in solidarity for Karen. We are here to show our support in solidarity with and for Aiden Carney, Turtle Boy. And I've never been more proud to be part of something. I wish that it were under better circumstances, but I am grateful to every single one of you who have chosen to watch this sham here and share this experience with me. And I will do my best to make this as enjoyable of an experience for you as I can. Now, we're gonna check in with Tom in as we have always traditionally done. And but Tom's not giving us much footage at the moment, but this buffer zone thing, if you guys are uh this buffer zone thing, man, if you guys live there, or if you guys are there, my heart goes out to you because this is the most infuriating thing I've ever seen. And I mean, it's like an occupied country out there. And I mean, look how far away they have to be from the courthouse.
Nice. Hit that like and subscribe.
This is the boundary. This is as far as they're allowed to be. This should infuriate everyone. Anyone who cares about free speech, anyone who cares about freedom of assembly, anyone who believes that Karen Reed is innocent. In fact, this should piss off anybody who thinks Karen Reed is guilty. Because the truth be told, I mean, you've got your blue shirts. As I understand it, I saw a tweet from Krusty Panties where she's letting people know that, you know, where they're going to meet, where you can get your blue shirts. And this should piss them off just as much as it pisses off anyone in support of Karen Reed. I mean, these people should be gathered on the steps of that courthouse, is how it should be. They should be gathered on the steps of that courthouse. But they can't. And it's really, 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 really important. It's really, really important. But 1 second.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad.
How dare you?
Donkey's Noggin, thank you so much. May God bless Karen and her team so we can find justice for Officer John O'Keefe, get Bent, Alberts, McCabe's, Higgins, Judge, and Commonwealth. Agreed. Mike B from the 413, thank you, buddy. I would say either today or next Monday is the Turk trial. Massachusetts State Police. Names like Fanning, Kukowski will be called. Reddington is doing well. Plus, this was a case where Brady letters sent on Proctor, if you are interested. Yeah, I believe that Melanie Little's been covering that. I believe Melanie Little's been covering that. And that's the case. That's the case where the dude killed his wife, right? The doctor, the surgeon, or I don't know if he's a surgeon, but the doctor, right? I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm correct. So, like, for those of you who don't know the story, Kevin Reddington is the attorney who's representing this guy. And one of the times that I was up there, it was the time that I was attending Turtle Boy's hearing. It was last September. I was in Chicago for Riot Fest, and then I decided to change my flight from going home to going to Boston to support Turtle Boy. And when I went to court, so when I was outside, like Tom is like, hey, Will, you got a fan there? And and he's like, this Kevin Reddington, right? And I guess he was like Jen McCabe's attorney. And the thing about Kevin Reddington, though, he's a cool guy. I'm sorry, but he's a cool guy. Listen, you guys, this is one of those. This is the case of all cases. If you follow true crime, this is the case of all cases that provides you with a strong, powerful lesson as to how we need to look at attorneys in true crime cases. You got to think of the evidence, and you can't think of these attorneys as heroes or villains until they clearly start doing dirty shit like Brennan. But like, at the end of the day, these people, they're just doing their job. You know what I mean? And so Reddington, I didn't know what he was talking. I didn't know what Tom was talking about. I look up and he's at the top of the courthouse and he's like, hey, you know, and I was like, okay, hey, and I didn't know who he was. And then I'm inside the courtroom. Aiden's hearing's about to start, and it was one of the big courtrooms. It was a big courtroom, and so and we were, you know, right up front, and Reddington's there for that case, which I didn't even realize, right? So Reddington's there for that case, and he sits down next to me because everybody was like, what is Reddington doing here? Like, because it's a Turtle Boy hearing, so everybody's just like, what is Reddington doing here? Everybody's like, there's all this chatter, but nobody knew what he was there for. Everybody just forgot about that case. And then when he comes down and he sits down next to me and he goes, hey, would it be weird if I asked you for an autograph? And I thought he was fucking with me. What's up, baby boy? I thought he was fucking with me. And then and I was just sitting there like waiting for him to be like, she's fucking with you. But he never did, right? But I was like, you know, and then I had to ask him. I was like, hey, so what the fuck are you doing here anyway? Like, I asked him just like that. I was like, hey, so what the fuck are you doing here anyway? And then he was like, got some psycho that fucking killed his wife and fucking threw her in a fucking pond or some shit. I got him back there. And I was like, oh my God. I busted out laughing just because I couldn't believe that this guy just fucking said that. Like, he was like, yeah, some fucking psycho back there. I got it. I was like, oh my God, he's talking about his own client. And then I was like, and then I started laughing, and the bailiff was like, shh. And then I was like, dude, you're gonna get me kicked out of here, dude. He was like, all right. He got up and left, and then I never saw him again to give him his autograph. But it was weird. It was one of the funniest first impressions of anybody that I met in Boston yet. If not, hands down, the funniest first impression. For sure. Hey, it's Scott McGinnis.
I know. I understand. You want to be right.
Yeah, what if we all decide to just march together all the way down? Just take a walk
Do they make it hard?
Hardman wouldn't know what to do with himself. And we won't be in the buffer zone or anywhere near the buffer zone if we're down at the other intersection. I mean, that's my thought. They
All
want
right.
to see us. They don't want to see us.
Now, stop
Let
stop what you're doing right now. Click on the link that I just dropped in the chat and give that a like. Make sure to do that, please. Liz gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. All right. Now, apparently, all right. So, for those of you who were in my chat last night, so remember I brought up the prospect of letting that fucking weird dude up here because he's just got a hard on for me for some reason. So, I well, truth be told, he took some really nasty jabs at some really good people, and so I took a jab at him. And so he's already messaging me, and he's saying that he has time in an hour if I want to let him up. Now, do you guys want me to interrupt jury selection to let this dude who thinks he's so fucking important to come up here? See, here's the thing. The way that I see it. Okay, so you're saying yes to do so? I mean, I will. If you guys want me to, I will. But I also feel that, what's up, Nan? Good to see you. I also feel like all right, I'll put up a poll like I did yesterday. Because I also feel if you vote no, I understand that too, because A, it's the fucking jury selection, dude. We've been waiting forever for this. And who the fuck is this guy? And B, like, I gave the guy an opportunity yesterday. Like, he had the opportunity. I could have given him some exposure. His channel could have picked up some exposure. Who knows? He could have fucking schooled me, right? But I gave him the opportunity. Did I not? And he didn't want to do it. So I don't know. So weighing those things, weighing between seeing an idiot get roasted, and that idiot could be me. Who knows? But seeing an idiot get roasted versus doing what we came here to do, which is watch the jury selection, and the fact that dude had his opportunity last night. All right, hold on. Let's go ahead and oh, wait a second. What?
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. 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 I think we got a super dad.
How dare you?
Katie Shea, thank you so much. Thanks for the continued coverage. Love the way you do what you do. When do you plan to visit Mass during the trial? You'll never know. But yeah, I'm coming up there. I'll be up there. Don't worry. I'll be up there. All right. That's what I was going to do. Hold on. All right. So there's a poll in the chat. I'll leave it up to you guys. I'm good either way. Oh, okay, man. Oh, yeah. It's leaning towards a thumbs down for you, my friend. Oh, but it's shifting a little. It's shifting a little. Maybe. We'll see. I love how, like, some of you guys that voted, I love how you guys are like, some of you guys are like trying to like use your energy to like push it. To like push the vote to go your way. No, like spamming no in my chat. Yeah, that's another thing. There's really good energy today. I feel really good about like where we're at right now as a community. You know what I mean? Like, why should we let this fucking dipshit come in here and try to fuck it up? Why should we let him pollute it? Why should I fucking like basically like putting him on here is the equivalent to just that's the equivalent. I'm just stinking up my fucking stream. That like where all of us here are positively in like collectively rooting for Karen Reed, focusing our energy on her right now. And she needs that. So yes, you lose. You get nothing. Good day, sir. You get nothing. Good day, sir. I said good day. All right. It's the end of that poll. Now, what I was going to do, let me see here. Has Karen even gotten there yet?
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad.
How dare you?
Decline. I love it. Thank you, Will, for all you do, especially keeping us together with all this bias crap coming to the Commonwealth and bias Bev. Yes, agreed. Thank you, Decline. Appreciate you. 1 second here. Let me check it. Let me check it out. Check it out. All right. So is anyone streaming this live? Let me go to. No, that's another case. Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything streaming on it yet. Okay, they're all inside, but nobody's streaming it yet. So I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all are just gonna have to wait. Yeah, doctor who murdered his wife, day 4. That's him right there. Oh, okay. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll just check with Twitter here. We'll check with Twitter here. And well then, yeah, man. Yeah, like I fucking knew that. I don't know why the fuck I had that brain fart about that. Like this is not my first rodeo. Bro. And dude, why is a grown ass man sending me fucking winky eye fucking emojis, bro? Like all right, so we'll just keep checking in with Aiden. Aiden says that as of 3 minutes ago, he says, no bus stop live this morning, and I am inside Norfolk Superior Court main courtroom for day 1 of jury selection in the Karen Reed murder trial. I am currently seated in the media box. Karen Reed is here with her attorneys, David Yannetti, Bob Alessi, Alan Jackson, Liza Little, and the newest addition, former juror from the first trial, Victoria George. She also has half a dozen Harvard and BC law students volunteering for her team. Spanky and Lunchbox Lally are sitting alone, looking dejected. Helicopters are buzzing around outside. There are plenty of Free Karen Reed supporters, no blue shirts on the edge of their buffer zone, which is being strictly enforced. The documentary crew who will be documenting my coverage of this case began filming with me this morning. We were just told that 92 prospective jurors will be brought in today. If 2 are chosen, I'd consider that a success, as it's going to be very difficult to find anyone in this county who doesn't have an opinion on this case. This is day 1 on a long road to justice, which will hopefully end with 2 words, not guilty. All right, folks. Well, actually, yeah, notify me, because I've got something here. I've got some sort of feed that's about to happen. So, yeah, I'm just going to keep that in the background there. In the meantime. Yeah, so I mean, if we can't stream jury selection or whatever, then we'll find other shit to do for a while. Like we'll hang out for a bit. I got a whole pot of coffee here, so we're good. Clever is awesome. I just got Clever a new harness, but I don't want to make him come up here because he's chilling. Like he's all bunched up and sleepy. Just being a good boy. But yeah, I mean, check it out. Look, this is scheduled to start at 9 a.m., but it's already like past. So I don't know. Oh, okay. Let's see what's going on with Tom's stream. Hold on. Let me have this in the background.
It's wrong.
Yep. Mainstream media is going to cover it only. And hopefully Turtle Boy gets a lot of it.
Well, he broke the story. He needs to get some of that, you know.
Yeah, but he's on that witness list, and they haven't made the decision yet. I know that Hank tried it last time, but
That's right, Mike. That is right.
Wow.
I sent you the town of Dedham upper zone stuff too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we can't watch the jury selection.
No, you can't. No. So court starts at 9:30. They're saying, okay. So what are you doing? Going down? You're gonna take a left and walk back
Okay.
that way?
So it doesn't
Yep.
start till 9:30.
Wow.
But I mean, I'm curious what they're going to live stream.
Ivan said if he can see me, he can arrest me.
Because
He's in the buffer zone.
I've got a news thing pulled up right here that's going to
Wow.
start. So
Yeah, they ain't playing today, man.
we're hanging out.
Wow.
I didn't even ask him a question. And you know what? I tried to call him yesterday to find out blah, blah, blah. Nope. He was talking enforcement. A lot of money being spent just to protect that church. It's kind of funny. They don't pay.
What I could do is I could go over Aiden's interview that he had with somebody yesterday or the day before. I'm not sure. I think it was yesterday. And I know Michael from Justice Serve TV is out there. I'm pretty sure he plans on just being out there for the whole thing. So let me take a look here real quick. What the hell, man? All right. Well, let's watch this news clip first for now.
It is the eve before the retrial of Karen Reed. Earlier today, our cameras caught Reed's defense attorney, Alan Jackson, landing at Logan Airport. And this all coming as Reed's defense was dealt with a blow. Yeah, Judge Beverly Cannoni issuing a major ruling earlier today limiting who can be named in Reed's use of a third-party culprit defense strategy. Our Jericho Tran is joining us live from outside of court in Dedham. She's got the very latest here. Jericho.
Yeah, well, tomorrow is going to be a busy day between media, ralliers, and then those 200 prospective jurors that will be making their way inside of the courthouse. We know the buffer zone has been extended 200 feet. And like you guys noted, we are learning more about that ruling, which will impact the defense.
Come on, let's go. The second murder trial for Karen Reed begins with jury selection tomorrow.
I expect the prosecution to focus more on proving its case and worrying less about the defendant's expected challenges.
Reed pled not guilty to hitting and killing her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, after a night of drinking back in 2022. And while Reed is in the hot seat, her defense planned to blame 3 other people for the death of O'Keefe. Brian Albert, the owner of the home where O'Keefe was found dead, Brian Higgins, an ATF agent who was also at the home that night, and Colin Albert, Brian Albert's nephew.
The defense strategy is probably going to be similar to what it was the first time.
Today, Norfolk Superior Court Judge Beverly Cannoni ruled there is.
It's gonna be similar to what it was the first time, but it's also going to be more aggressive. We're already seeing signs of this, and this is I think one of the reasons why the energy is so high right now, and I think it's really interesting to be experiencing this in real time, because watching Tom and Mike's footage outside of the courthouse and seeing this new buffer zone, it is absolutely affecting morale. It is absolutely affecting morale. There's no doubt about it that it's affecting morale. But Karen and her team and what they're doing moving forward is what's keeping everyone really inspired and really focused. And I think that's amazing. Like, it's a really cool thing to witness in real time.
Is, quote, insufficient evidence that Colin Albert had motive, intent, or opportunity to commit the crime.
If it's not proved either way and the jury is confused at the end of the trial and not really sure who's right and who's wrong, then that goes to reasonable doubt, and that would help the defense.
Even though Reed's defense will be allowed to bring up the other two alternate killers, they can't do it in opening statements. And Judge Cano.
I'm seeing the media shift, man. I'm seeing it with Court TV, and now I'm seeing it with local mainstream media. I'm seeing a shift, and I think it's just gotten to the point that it's impossible to ignore the bias. It's impossible to ignore Brennan's tactics. It's impossible to ignore the fact that this is coming from the prosecution side and a judiciary aspect of it. It's impossible to ignore anymore. And I think now that's why there's more support out there for Karen Reed. There's more support on the internet for Karen Reed. This is fascinating because it's like they were really pushing the agenda. It's like mainstream media it has been one of the things that I have bitched and moaned about for the last year and a half is how mainstream media has been covering this case. And it's because it's been so biased towards the Commonwealth. But now it's getting to a point to where it's just too obvious. And the interesting thing is they've really tried to like keep Turtle Boy out of the whole thing. Now Turtle Boy is impossible to ignore. Turtle Boy has entered the chat. It's impossible to ignore the Turtle Boy aspect of this because Brennan brought him in. Brennan wanted the communications between Aiden and Karen. They had a whole hearing over it. Aiden was sitting down with the whole world watching, sitting down at a table with Karen Reed and both of their attorneys. And not only that, this followed while Aiden was sitting there with his attorneys, and Karen and her team busted in and fucking marched like bosses into the courtroom. And not to mention that Turtle Boy came out on top in that. Karen came out on top in that. So you can't ignore the Turtle Boy aspect of this anymore. And now the press, the media, they see this. And now they have no choice. Now they have to cover this fairly. The world is watching. The world has seen Turtle Boy and Karen Reed sitting at that table together, and they know to watch Turtle Boy's case now. And once people start looking into Turtle Boy's case, they're going to go, well, at least a good amount of those people are going to go, well, I mean, it looks a lot like they're trying to shut him up. And then that's going to be interesting. And now Turtle Boy now has a documentary filmmaker following him around. And that should be interesting because that's going to get Turtle Boy's side of things. Maybe this is the documentary we've been talking about, folks, where they tell the entire story, everything.
Cannoni says the evidence presented so far is, quote, barely sufficient.
Go a little faster here, folks.
With nearly 200 names on the witness list, along with Special Prosecutor Hank Brennan, today the judge also ruled Reed's legal team cannot call a former FBI agent to the stand. He was supposed to testify about what policies police did not follow.
One of the things that the defense is going to bring up again and again is the reason they don't have evidence is because it was mishandled by the police investigation.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so jury selection starts tomorrow, and legal analysts that I'm speaking with say they do not anticipate this is going to be a short process. They say this could last until the last week of April. In Dedham, Jericho Tran, NBC 10 Boston.
Wow, Jericho, thank you. And listen, we will have live coverage throughout this trial for you. You can tune in over on our sister station, NECN, as well as streaming on all of our NBC 10 Boston news channels.
All right, shut up. No, we're not going to tune in to Canton Confidential. Okay? Shut up. All right, hold on here. Shut up. All right, so I've got the juror questionnaire here. You guys want to take a look at that? All right. So it says here, number one, it is alleged that on January 29, 2022, while intoxicated and operating her motor vehicle in Canton, Massachusetts, the defendant, Karen Reed, killed her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, an off-duty police officer, Boston police officer. Is there anything about the description of the case, the charges, or the victim was an off-duty police officer that causes you to believe that you cannot be fair and impartial in this case? Number two, have you already started to make up your mind about this case? Number three, do you have opinions regarding previous experiences as a juror, the fairness of the jury system or criminal justice system in our country that would impair your ability to be fair and impartial to both the Commonwealth and to the defendant? Number four, do you have any religious or philosophical beliefs that would make it difficult for you to follow the law and come to a verdict in this case? Interesting. Number five, the case is expected to garner a significant amount of media attention. Is there anything about the high-profile nature of this case that would prevent you from serving as a fair and impartial juror? Number six, do you, any family members or close friends reside in or conduct regular business in Canton, Massachusetts? Specifically, do you eat pizza there? Do you drink at bars there? Number seven, the testimony were in conflict. If the testimony were in conflict, would you tend to believe the testimony of a police officer more than any other witness simply because the witness is a police officer? Great question. Number eight, conversely, would you tend to disbelieve a police officer simply because the witness is a police officer? Also a great question. Got to have one with the other. Very important. Do you believe law enforcement officers are generally fair and accurate in their investigations? It's also a great question. Number 10, do you have any strong personal beliefs, or have you been exposed to any strong personal beliefs from friends and relatives about law enforcement officers, prosecutors, or the government? Hold on, sorry. Let me see something here. Okay, so hold on. Boston Mike just hooked me up with something. Let me oh yeah, we're back on. We're on here. Just in time too. There's no sound though yet. So while we're waiting for sound, I'll keep reading. Have you ever been involved in a group community or individual activity showing support for law enforcement in or outside your own community? Number 12, have you ever been involved in a group community or individual activity that was critical of the police or law enforcement in or outside of your own community? Number 13, have you or someone close to you ever had education, training, or work experiences in any of the following fields? Law enforcement, military, alcohol, drug abuse, domestic violence. Number 14, do you have any strong personal beliefs, or have you been exposed to any strong personal beliefs from friends and relatives about operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol? Now that's interesting. And mind you, most of these questions, like yes or no, answering yes or no doesn't necessarily get you booted off of the jury. I wouldn't assume. I think I in theory, I would assume that they really weigh in on, and that's not me. We're still waiting on the sound to come in. I would assume that the process would be that they weigh a certain blend of answers to determine whether or not they would be more in favor for the defense or for the prosecution. Yeah, we're still waiting on sound here. So what I'm guessing is that there's like names being said and they mute because jurors have to remain anonymous, right? Press can't even describe them. It's in Bev's order that the press can't even describe the jury. And Aiden says it's so that the public can't know if it's an all-white jury or not.
Turn off, so late.
Yeah, that's what
I don't know why you're telling me. I just have the shit playing. I have no control over the volume.
Please be seated. Thank you.
benefit from.
Can the court please stand? Hey. All persons have any business before the Honorable Beverly Kenomi, Justice of the Norfolk Superior Court, and for the County of Norfolk. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The school is now open. You may be seated. Jurors remain standing. Everyone else may be seated.
I'm sorry, jurors. Could I have you all raise your right hands, please? Do each of you solemnly swear to make true answers to such questions as should be put forth to you by the court to help you God? Thank you. You can have a seat now, promise. May I call the case, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, this is 22-117, the Commonwealth versus Karen Reed.
Counsel.
You want counsel? You want me to say?
Counsel.
Could I have counsel identify themselves for the record, starting with the Commonwealth?
Good morning, Your Honor. Laura McLaughlin for the Commonwealth.
Good morning, Ms. McLaughlin.
I'm Lally for the Commonwealth. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Lally.
Good morning, Your Honor. Hank Brennan for the Commonwealth.
Good morning, Mr. Brennan.
Good morning, Your Honor. Alan Jackson on behalf of Karen.
Good morning, Mr. Jackson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Little, also on behalf of Ms. Reed.
Good morning, Ms. Little.
Morning, Your Honor. Robert Alessi on behalf of Ms. Reed.
Morning, Mr. Alessi.
Good morning, Your Honor. David Yannetti for Karen Reed.
Good morning, Mr. Yannetti.
Good morning, Your Honor. Victoria George on behalf of Ms. Reed.
Good morning, Ms. George. Good morning, Ms. Reed.
Karen Reed, can you please stand? Karen Reed, you are now set at the bar to be tried, and these good men and women who I shall call to pass between the Commonwealth and you upon your trial. If you'd object to anything, you must do so before they are sworn. You have a right to challenge any 16 jurors without giving reason. Thank you.
Please fucking rock stars.
Okay. Good morning, jurors. My name is Beverly Canoni. I'm a judge of this court, and I want to welcome you here today and give you some idea on what you will be asked to do. So, jury service, as you know, is one of the most important duties we have as citizens. We appreciate that you're here, ready, willing, and able to serve if you're called upon to do so. And our system of justice simply does not work without you. So we thank you. This is the case of Commonwealth versus Karen Reed. The Commonwealth alleges that at approximately 6 a.m. on the morning of January 29th, 2022, the Canton Police Department received a 911 call reporting an unresponsive male party in the snow outside a residence at 34 Fairview Road in that town. Officers responded and discovered the man, later identified as John O'Keefe, off the roadway in the front lawn area. Officers identified 3 women with Mr. O'Keefe, one of whom was the defendant, Karen Reed, the girlfriend of Mr. O'Keefe. The defendant had been with Mr. O'Keefe the previous evening at 2 different bars in Canton and had driven with him to this residence in the early morning hours of this date. Mr. O'Keefe was treated by paramedics from the Canton Fire Department and transported to the Good Samaritan Medical Center, where he was subsequently pronounced deceased. The Commonwealth alleges that the defendant struck Mr. O'Keefe with her vehicle earlier that morning and then left the scene while Mr. O'Keefe lay injured in the snow during a blizzard. The defendant denies these allegations. She is presumed to be innocent and has pled not guilty. So Ms. Reed is charged with second-degree murder. She is also charged with manslaughter while operating under the influence and with leaving the scene after causing personal injury or death. I will describe these indictments in detail at the end of the case when I teach you the law, but briefly, murder is the unlawful killing of a human being. There are various ways in which the Commonwealth can prove a murder case, and the Commonwealth is permitted to proceed under all theories it believes it can prove. Here, the Commonwealth alleges that the defendant committed murder and that the murder was murder in the second degree. In order to prove the defendant guilty of second-degree murder, the Commonwealth must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant committed an unlawful killing and that it was done with malice. In comparison, involuntary manslaughter is an unintentional, unlawful killing caused by wanton or reckless conduct. These terms and the elements of the crimes will be explained to you in greater detail at the end of the case before you begin your deliberations. Now, at the outset, I would like to address the issue of public interest in this case and the duty of this court to adhere to the rule of law. John Adams said that we are a government of laws, not of men, and that the law must be deaf to the clamoring of the public. He meant that while the public opinion about a given subject may ebb and flow, the law must be steady, reliable, and even-handed. We know that on the subject of this case, there are people advocating for one outcome or another with intensity, but without the benefit of having heard or seen any evidence at all. The law works in a different way, and the difference is crucial to our system of justice. The jurors selected for this trial will hear and judge the evidence. They will decide what the facts are, and where the evidence is contested, they will determine where the truth lies. Ultimately, the jury will decide whether the Commonwealth has carried its burden of proving that the defendant is guilty of any crime beyond a reasonable doubt.
Y'all are rabid,
People
man.
outside of this building have rights, and we know that they have voices. But this criminal trial will be decided by an independent jury. free from outside interference, based only upon the evidence presented in this courtroom and the law. This is the only way to ensure that every person who comes before the court receives a fair trial. It is just that simple and that important. So while public comment will likely continue, the rule of law will be upheld. In order to determine your eligibility to serve on this case, I'm going to ask you questions, all as a group, and then I'm going to ask you to fill out a supplemental questionnaire. We have found that the use of this questionnaire is helpful for several reasons. First, there are some personal questions on it, and we ask that you be candid. In addition, the process of filling out the questionnaire provides the opportunity to be more reflective as you answer the questions, rather than being put on the spot and asked to give immediate answers. After you fill out the questionnaire, we will have you come up to the sidebar one at a time so that we can follow up with you on your answers to the questionnaire and to my questions. I want to thank you in advance for your patience as we go through this process.
No, Bev, thank you.
As you may know, the lawyers for the parties participate in the selection of the jury. Under our law, each of the parties has the right to exercise what we call juror challenges. This means that each party has the right to challenge a certain number of prospective jurors for any reason or for no reason at all. Therefore, some of you may be excused during the impanelment procedure. If you are not selected for jury service on this case, you should not take it personally. Don't think that somehow you're not a fair person, because it's not a reflection on you at all. You will be directed back to the jury room and perhaps be picked for another case. In a few minutes, I'll pose a number of questions to you as a group. You have just taken an oath that requires you to truthfully answer these questions and all questions posed to you. If your answer to any question is yes, I will ask that you raise your hand and hold up your juror card in the air with the numbers facing out so that the court officer can read the number from the card. You don't have to get your cards out yet. I'll tell you when it's time to get your cards out. Now, the fact that you answer yes to one of my questions does not mean that you're automatically disqualified from jury service. It simply means that there are matters that counsel and I must discuss with you. If you find a question posed to the group overly intrusive, you may elect to answer the question at sidebar. I may have additional questions for you which relate to issues that may be raised in the trial and are designed to give us information regarding your ability to serve as a fair and impartial juror in this case. And the lawyers are permitted to ask you questions for the same reason. This is not a test. There is no right or wrong answer to any question. We're simply looking for your honest and best answers to the questions. Now I'm going to have the lawyers introduce themselves. We'll start with the Commonwealth, and when the defense introduces themselves, please introduce your client. Mr. Brennan,
Your Honor.
please.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ken Brennan. I represent Massachusetts. Along with me are two other attorneys I'd like to introduce you to. All the way to my right is attorney Laura McLaughlin. And next to me is attorney Adam Ballard.
Thank you. Defense counsel, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alan Jackson. I have the privilege of representing Ms. Karen Reed, who is to my right.
Good morning, members of the jury. My name is Elizabeth Little, and I also have the privilege of representing Ms. Reed.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My name is Robert Alessi, and I also have the privilege of representing Ms.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Yannetti. I'm an attorney. I have an office in Boston. I also have an office in Dedham. It's my privilege to represent Karen.
Good morning, members of the jury. My name is Victoria George, and I have the pleasure of representing Ms. Reed.
Good morning, Ms. Reed. Thank you for being here.
All right, thank you very much. Folks, I'm going to read a very lengthy witness list to you. It's important that you listen to the names because at some point I'm going to ask you whether you know any of these folks. So when you hear it, please listen to it in those terms. Now, it does not mean that all 150 witnesses are going to be called at trial, but you'll hear their names if they're not called. You may hear their names during trial. So it's important that we know if you know these folks. The list is alphabetical, but it's alphabetical by first name. So Aidan Kearney from Jefferson, Mass. Dr. Aziz Wolf from South Miami, Florida. Alfredo Lopelato from Canton. Allison McCabe, also Canton. Andre Porto from the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab. Andrew Klain from Bridgewater. Andrew Rentschler, PhD from Pittsburgh. Angela Malvone from Canton. Annie Chung from Canton. Anthony Flamati from the Canton Fire Department. Ashley Bell from Canton. Ashley Valliere from the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab. Brian Albert from Norwood. Brian Albert Jr. from Boston. Brian Higgins from Sandwich. Brian Loughran from Canton. Brian Wanless, retired Canton Police Department. Bridget Meehan, keeper of the records in Canton. Caitlin Albert from Easton. Charles Ray, a lieutenant with the Canton Police Department. Chief of Police of Canton, Helena Rafferty. Chris Van E., PhD from Novi, Michigan. Christina Hanley from the Massachusetts State Police. Christopher Albert, Canton. Christopher Curran, Canton. Colleen Crawford from the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office in Canton. Colin Albert from Canton. Courtney Proctor from Canton. Kurt Roberts from Canton. Daniel Whitley from the Canton Fire Department. Daniel Wolf, PhD from Penns Park, Pennsylvania. Derek Ellington from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Dr. Marie Russell from Los Angeles. Dr. Elizabeth Lopesada from Providence. Elizabeth Proctor from Canton. Eric Hanlon, Canton. Erin Beatty, Canton. Erin O'Keefe, West Bridgewater. Francis Walsh from the Canton Fire Department. Garen Wing from Green Cove Springs, Florida. Gary Fowler from Brockton. Gregory Woodbury from the Canton Fire Department. Gretchen Voss, Boston, Mass. Hannah Knowles from the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab. Heather Maxon from Walpole. Arabito Hernandez from the Boston Police Department. Holly Price from Mountain View, California. Ian Whiffen from Vienna, Virginia. Dr. Irene Scortibello from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner in Massachusetts. James Crosby, Master's PhD, from Jacksonville, Florida. Jason Becker from the Canton Fire Department. Jean DeMulis from Canton. Jennifer McCabe, also Canton. Jessica Hyde from Bridgeport, New York. John O'Keefe Sr. from Braintree. Judson Welcher, PhD, from a company called Aperture, LLC. Julie Albert from Canton. Julie Nagel from Canton. Dr. Justin Rice from South Weymouth. There's a juvenile whose initials are KF from Canton, and there's another juvenile whose initials are PF, also from Canton. Caitlin Boudreau from Raynham. Karina Kolakithis from Canton. Katie Camerano, also Canton. Katie McLaughlin from the Canton Fire Department. Keeper of the records for Ring from Hawthorne, California. Kerry Curran from Canton. Kerry Roberts, Canton. Kevin Albert, Canton. Kevin O'Hara from the Massachusetts State Police. Lance Mello from the Massachusetts State Police Crime Lab. Laura Sullivan from Pembroke. Laurie Cahill from Worcester. Leslie Pearlstein from Canton. Lieutenant Michael Lank from the Canton Police Department. Louis Jutras from Canton. Lieutenant Brian Tully from the Mass State Police. Lieutenant John Fanning from the Mass State Police. Lieutenant Paul Gallagher from the Canton Police. Maggie Gaffney from Bonita Springs, Florida. Mark Lopelato, from Canton. Margaret O'Keefe from Canton. Marietta Sullivan from Pembroke. Mary Souza, Dighton. Matthew Amory from Canton. Matthew DeSogra from Charlotte, North Carolina. Matthew Erickson from Grosse Pointe Farms, Michigan. Matthew Kelly, Canton Fire Department. Matthew Kelsch, the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Matthew McCabe from Canton. Maureen Harnett from the Mass State Police Crime Lab. Megan Mariani from New York, New York. Michael Camerano from Canton. Michael Easter from Los Angeles, California. Michael Trotta, Canton Public Works Department. Michael Wagner from Foxborough, Mike Maroli from Bridgewater, Mike Rushworth from Thompson Station, Tennessee, Natalie Week Berschneider from San Marino, California, Nathan Reed from Raynham, Nicholas Bradford from Lorton, Virginia, Nicholas Curran from West Roxbury, Nicholas Kolakithis from Canton, Nicole Albert from Norwood, Norfolk County District Attorney Michael Morrissey, Officer Kelly Deaver from the Boston Police Department, Officer Nicholas Barrows from the Dighton Police Department, Patrick Haggerty from Somerset, Paul Mikowski from Melrose, Paul O'Keefe from Canton, Rebecca Bison from Canton, Rebecca Treyers from Norfolk, Mass, Dr. Renee Stonebridge from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner's Office in Boston, Richard Green from St. Beach, Florida.
Yeah.
Richard Donatino from Canton. Robert Gilman from Hull. Ryan Nagel from Canton. Sarah Levinson from Canton. Sergeant Brian Gallerini from the Needham Police Department. Sergeant Sean Good from the Canton Police Department. Sergeant Paul Giampietro from the Canton Police Department. Sergeant Yuri Buchanan from Massachusetts State Police. Shannon Burgess from South Lake, Texas, Cheryl Waugh from Canton, Sophie Herzan from the Mass State Police Crime Lab, Stephanie Devlin from the Mass State Police Crime Lab, Stephen Mullaney from the Canton Police Department, Steve Nelson from the Norfolk DA's office, Steve Bernstein, who is a keeper of the records in Stoughton, Stephen Ridge from the Boston Police Department, Stephen Saraf from the Canton Police Department, Stephen Scanlon from West Roxbury, Terry Kuhn from Davis, California, Tess Chart from Lorton, Virginia, Thomas Beatty, Canton, Thomas Kelleher, Canton, Thomas Martin, Weymouth, Timothy Nuttall from the Canton Fire Department, Tristan Morris from Easton, Trooper Connor Key for the Mass State Police, also from the Mass State Police, Trooper David DeChico, Trooper Evan Brent, Trooper Jeffrey Kostowski, Trooper Joseph Paul, Trooper Kathleen Prince, Trooper Michael Proctor, Trooper Nicholas Garino, Trooper Zachary Clark, Wendell Robery from Canton, William Reed from North Dighton. That's the list of witnesses, folks. So in a while, I'm going to ask you all if you know any of those folks. So as you can imagine, this case is expected to take a while. The lawyers tell me that once we get a jury, which may also take a while, once we get a jury, that it's estimated that the evidence in this case should take 6 to 8 weeks. We do our best to let you know in advance what we anticipate the length of trial will be. When we start the trial, we will go full days so that we can expedite the trial. The dates that I'm giving you, the 6 to 8 weeks, is the far end of what we expect this to be, just for planning purposes. So the days will begin at 9 o'clock. We'll take a recess at about 11 for 15 or 20 minutes. We'll go until 1. Lunch will be brought into you. We'll start up sometime around 2 and go till 4 o'clock or 4:30 every day. And there'll be days off here and there throughout the schedule, and perhaps half days throughout the schedule.
Half days.
So that's the schedule that we intend to keep. Now, it might help you if I give you a preview right now about some basic law that applies to criminal cases like this. It's my job to teach the jury the law, and I don't do that completely until the end of the trial. So for now, I'll give you a very brief summary of some of the legal principles that govern the trial. First, and most basically, the defendant starts this trial presumed to be innocent. The fact that she was arrested or that she was indicted is not proof of anything. An indictment is just a piece of paper. It just makes an accusation. An indictment is merely a formal manner of accusing a person of a crime in order to bring her to trial in the superior court. But it is only the jury, in other words, you folks, who can decide whether the prosecution has proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt. If the Commonwealth does not do that, then the presumption of innocence requires you to find the defendant not guilty. The law does not require a defendant to prove her innocence, to produce any evidence whatsoever, or to do anything other than attend the trial. This presumption of innocence remains with the defendant until you, the jury, make your determination after listening and considering all the
Presumption
evidence.
of innocence.
Another important principle of law is that the defendant has an absolute right not to testify, since the entire burden of proof in this case is on the Commonwealth to prove that she is guilty. Under our system of law, a defendant has a perfect right to say to the Commonwealth, you accuse me, now you prove it, and prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. I do not have to say a word.
Exactly.
A defendant's decision whether or not to testify has nothing to do with the question of whether she is guilty or not guilty. The jury must not consider it in any way or even discuss it in their deliberations. Jurors in a criminal case must determine whether the Commonwealth has proved its case against the defendant beyond a reasonable doubt based solely on the testimony of the witnesses and the exhibits. That brings me to the requirement of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. What is proof beyond a reasonable doubt? The term is often used and probably pretty well understood, though it is not easily defined. Proof beyond a reasonable doubt does not mean proof beyond all possible doubt. For everything in the lives of human beings is open to some possible or imaginary doubt. A charge is proved beyond a reasonable doubt if, after you have compared and considered all the evidence, you have in your minds an abiding conviction to a moral certainty that the charge is true. When we refer to moral certainty, we mean the highest degree of certainty possible in matters relating to human affairs based solely on the evidence that has been put before the jury in this case. I have told you that every person is presumed to be innocent unless and until he or she is proved guilty, and that the burden of proof is on the Commonwealth. If you evaluate all the evidence and you still have a reasonable doubt remaining, the defendant is entitled to the benefit of that doubt and must be acquitted. It is not enough for the Commonwealth to establish a probability, even a strong probability, that the defendant is more likely to be guilty than not guilty. That is not enough. Instead, the evidence must convince you of the defendant's guilt to a reasonable and moral certainty, a certainty that convinces your understanding and satisfies your reason and judgment as jurors who are sworn to act conscientiously on the evidence. This is what we mean by proof beyond a reasonable doubt. A juror's job is to find the facts. In determining the facts, you may draw reasonable inferences from the evidence that you believe because you're entitled to rely upon both direct and circumstantial evidence. I'll define those terms in greater detail later, but direct evidence essentially is evidence of what a witness claims to have seen or heard or touched or somehow perceived with his or her own senses. Circumstantial evidence exists where a witness does not testify directly to the fact that is sought to be proven, but you are provided with evidence of other facts and then asked to draw reasonable inferences from them about the fact that is sought to be proved. Jurors are entitled to consider both kinds of evidence. There is no difference at all in the probative value between direct and circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence is competent to establish guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, I've used the word inference. An inference is a logical deduction or conclusion that you may, but are not required to draw from evidence that you have accepted as believable. Inferences are little steps in reasoning, steps in which you take some known information, apply your experience in life to it, and then draw a conclusion. An inference drawn from circumstantial evidence need not be necessary or inescapable, but any inference which you do draw must be reasonable and possible. It must be logical. It must be a natural one which is not too remote in the ordinary course of events. You may not guess. You may not speculate or engage in surmise. When the evidence tends equally to give rise to either of two inconsistent propositions, the Commonwealth has established neither proposition. In order to convict the defendant, you must find that all of the evidence and the reasonable inferences that you have drawn, taken together, prove that she is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, our system of justice depends on judges like me and jurors like you being able and willing to make careful and fair decisions. All people deserve fair and equal treatment in our system of justice, regardless of their race, national origin, religion, age, ability, gender, sexual orientation, education, income level, or any other personal characteristic. You have agreed to be fair, and I'm sure that you want to be fair, but that is not always easy. One difficulty comes from our own built-in expectations and assumptions. They exist even if we are not aware of them, and even if we believe we do not have them. Some of you may have heard this called implicit bias, and that is what I'm talking about. We judges have the same problem, obviously, as everyone else. So let me share a few strategies that we have found useful. First, slow down. Do not rush to a decision. Hasty decisions are more likely to reflect stereotypes or hidden biases. Second, keep an open mind. Avoid drawing conclusions until the end of the case when you and your fellow jurors deliberate. Remember that when you deliberate, you will have all the evidence and all the time you need to make a careful decision. So there truly is no need to start making up your mind before then. Third, you should listen closely to all the witnesses. That is the best way to ensure that you decide this case based on the evidence and the law instead of on unsupported assumptions. Fourth, as you listen to the testimony about the people involved in this case, consider them as individuals rather than as members of a particular group. Finally, I might ask myself, would I view the evidence differently if the people were from different groups, such as different racial, ethnic, or gender identity groups? At the end of the case, I will remind you of these strategies and ask you to focus on the evidence instead of any unsupported assumptions you may have. All we ask is that you individually and as a group do your best to resolve this case based upon the evidence and law without sympathy, bias, or prejudice to the best of your ability as human beings. Now, I know that some of this may be confusing, and perhaps all of it's confusing at this early stage of the case. You'll certainly be in a better position to understand this at the end of the case when you've heard all the evidence and I can explain the law in detail. So don't be worried if you didn't catch everything I've said. Why am I telling you these things now? Because we need to know if you are able to follow the law in this case. You don't necessarily have to agree with the law, but all the jurors will have to apply the law as I describe it. So for jury selection, it's important to know if any of you might have doubts whether you can accept and follow these legal rules. So I'm going to ask you questions in a few minutes. So if your answer is yes to any of my questions, please raise your hand. Before we begin, though, I understand that sometimes jurors do not fill out the juror questionnaires completely, that sometimes we are in a rush to send them in, or sometimes we don't think that our situation applies to the question that is asked. If the lawyers and I notice that the questionnaire appears to be incomplete, we may ask you to answer the question for us. Also, if you know now that you failed to include information on the questionnaire, for example, a work history, prior involvement with the court, whether as a party in a case, a witness, or a juror, please let us know. So while you're taking out your cards, I will see counsel and Chief Rosen, juror number 79 too, and counsel at sidebar, please.
Uh-oh, jury number 79. What's going on with juror number 79? I don't have any idea. Man, it's so funny. Like, the first thing she said was like, presumed innocent till proven guilty, and don't draw any conclusions until after, which is like totally the opposite of how Ronnie described that jury was run in the last hearing, or in the last trial, excuse me. Right, the first sidebar of millions, exactly. Yeah, this is the craziest fucking sham I've ever seen. It's like just a clusterfuck of constitutional violations, dude. Like, it's insane. Just a clusterfuck of them. Like, when you look at everything, you look at like the whole Turtle Boy thing, you look at the buffer zone thing, on top of how Karen is being prosecuted, on top of the fact that she's being prosecuted at all, on top of the fact that she's being prosecuted not once, but twice, on top of the fact that she's clearly innocent and the evidence dictates it, and Bev is blocking their defense. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Boston Mason, exactly. I agree 100%. This is something that I hope I'll never see again in my entire lifetime. I hope never happens again. I hope, like, it's so important for Karen Read to come out on top here, because the precedent that this could set is so dangerous. Hannah, thank you so much, Brandon.
So now I have questions that I'm going to ask you, and the court officers will read your number. So if you have that card, and hold it high, please. Do any of you folks or a close personal friend or family member know, or have you had any prior dealings with any of the witnesses whose names I've read? Please raise your hand.
96, 96, 32, 32, 59, 59, 3, number 3, number 83, 83.
Juror number 46, 46.
Juror number 90, 90.
All right, thank you. Do any of you folks or a close personal friend or family member know, or have you had any prior dealings with the lawyers in this case or with the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office? I see no affirmative responses. Do any of you folks or a close personal friend or family member have any financial or other personal interest whatsoever in this case or its outcome? I see no affirmative responses. Has anyone seen, heard, or talked about this case? Please raise your hand.
Juror number 47, 47.
I wonder how many.
Juror number 108, 108.
That's 2.
Juror number 54, 54.
That's 3.
Juror number 4.
That's 4.
Juror number 7.
That's 5.
Juror number 95, 95.
That's 6.
Juror number 12, 1 and 2.
That's 7.
Juror number 35.
That's 8.
5.
That's
Juror number
9.
2. Juror number 107, 1.
That's 10.
7. Juror number 41.
That's 11.
Juror number 46.
That's
46.
12.
Juror number 24.
That's 13.
Juror number 97. 97.
That's 14.
Juror number 23. 23.
That's 15.
Juror number 99.
That's 16.
Juror number 25.
That's 17.
Juror number 90.
That's 18.
Juror number 92.
That's 19.
Juror number 91.
That's 20.
Juror 106.
That's 21.
Juror number 101.
That's 22.
Juror number 68.
That's 23.
Juror number 65.
That's 24.
Juror number 105.
That's 25.
Juror number 60.
That's 26.
Juror number 115, 115.
27.
Juror number 76.
28.
Juror number 66.
29.
Juror number 85.
30.
Juror number 57, 57. Juror
31.
number 6.
32.
Juror number 96, 96.
33.
Juror 109.
34.
Juror 113.
35.
13. Juror 73.
36.
73.
She's leasing through them.
Juror 31, 31.
37.
Juror 32, 32.
38.
Juror 111.
39.
111. Juror 88.
40.
Juror
41.
53. Juror 110.
42.
Juror 59, 59.
43.
Juror 40.
44.
Juror 94, 94.
45.
Juror 3. Juror 86,
46,
86, and juror 62,
47,
juror 84,
48,
84, juror 112, 112,
49,
juror 64, 64,
50,
juror 82, 82,
51,
juror 19, 19,
52,
juror 77,
53,
juror 17, 17,
54,
juror number 75, 75,
55,
juror number 38,
56,
juror number 43,
57,
juror number 29,
58,
juror number 87,
59,
juror number 28,
60,
juror number 56,
61,
juror number 113,
62,
juror number 36,
63,
juror number 98,
64,
juror number 83,
65,
juror number 72,
66,
juror number 24,
67,
juror number 42,
68,
juror number 78,
69,
juror number 18,
hey,
juror
70,
number 67, juror
71,
number 37, juror number
72,
69, juror number 63,
73,
and juror number 22.
74,
Juror number 30, 30.
75,
Juror number 45.
76.
Okay, thank you.
76 is what I
Have
counted.
any of you folks expressed or formed any opinion with respect to this case? If so, please raise your hand.
Juror number 108, 108.
1,
Juror number 7.
2,
Juror number 95,
3,
95. Juror number 107, 1,
4,
7. Juror number 2.
5,
Juror number 35,
6,
5. Juror number 8.
7,
Juror number 97, 97.
8,
Juror number 90.
9,
Juror number 91.
10,
Juror 106.
11,
Juror 101.
12,
Juror 105.
13,
Juror 60.
14,
Juror 115, 115.
15,
Juror number 66.
16,
Juror number 85.
17
Juror
people who formed
109,
it. 18,
juror 73,
19,
juror 86,
20,
juror number 3,
21,
juror 94,
22,
juror 40,
23,
juror 59,
24,
juror 53,
25,
juror 84,
26,
juror 112,
27,
112, juror 64,
28,
juror 82,
29,
juror 77,
30,
juror 17,
31,
juror number 75,
32,
juror number 43,
33,
juror number 29,
34,
juror number 28,
35,
juror number 113,
36,
juror number 36,
37,
juror number 18,
38,
juror number 37,
39,
juror number 22.
40.
All right.
So
Thank
40
you.
that formed an
Are any of
opinion.
you folks aware of any bias or prejudice that you may have in regard to this case or in favor of or against either of the parties? If you
All right,
believe that
so
you might have a
guilty or innocent
bias,
opinions.
please raise your hand.
Guilty or innocent opinions. Here we go.
Juror number 25.
1,
Juror number 8.
2,
Juror 90.
3,
Juror 91.
4,
Juror 101.
5,
Juror 105. Juror 65.
7,
Juror number 60.
8,
Juror number 115.
9,
15. Juror number 66.
10,
Juror number 85.
11,
Juror number 17,
12,
juror number 38,
13,
juror number 36,
14,
juror number 37,
15,
juror number 3.
16.
All right. Thank you.
16 people with bias.
Do any of you
that are
folks have
guilty.
any difficulty hearing or any problem with understanding the English language, any physical or mental condition, or any religious or philosophical beliefs that would interfere with your ability to hear the evidence in this case, to understand the evidence, to concentrate during the trial,
That's a
or
lot
to
less than I
deliberate
thought.
for the purpose of reaching a verdict? If so, please raise your hand.
Dude,
Juror
16
number
people who had bias. That's a lot less than I thought.
Juror number 8.
Juror 101. 101.
Wow, these are all deaf
Juror
people?
number 65. Juror 105.
Juror number 13, juror 31, 31. 075, 036, 098.
Juror number 330.
Thank you, Deets.
Would any of you folks have any difficulty following the concepts that I've described? First, that the burden of proof rests entirely with the Commonwealth. Second, that that burden of proof is proof beyond a reasonable doubt and to a moral certainty. And third, that the defendant has absolutely no burden. She's presumed to be innocent unless and until the jury determines that the Commonwealth has proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt. Is there anyone who would have difficulty following those very important constitutional concepts?
Amazing.
Juror number 5858.
Now, I can tell you folks that after every jury trial, I talk to jurors, and they often tell me not only that their jury experience was an interesting one, but a rewarding one. I do understand, though, that for a few of you, however, service in this jury may be a substantial hardship, and let me explain what I mean by that. It's something more than mere inconvenience, because every civic duty we have causes us to be inconvenienced. It's far more extraordinary. It's something that would justify your being excused and a fellow juror having to serve in your place. I do understand, though, that it may be a substantial hardship. So if anyone has a substantial hardship, and what I typically mean by this is you have airline tickets or surgery scheduled during the course of this trial. But bearing in mind that this case may take 6 to 8 weeks to try according to the schedule that I've described, and keep in mind that I'll only excuse those who have a substantial hardship. If you think you are in that group, please raise your hand.
Juror number 97. Juror number 47. Juror 108.
This is going to be everybody. Yo, I don't even want to do this shit.
Juror number 50. Juror number 7. Juror number 23. Juror number 24.
Juror number 90. Juror number 91. 106.
Is this anybody who's claiming to have a financial hardship? Is that what she said?
105. 70.
Because you know my ass would just be like
60.
Juror 6, Juror 109, 13,
get him up.
31, 32, 88, 53, 110, 03, 112, 64, 82, 17, 17. Juror number 43, Juror 42.
Yeah, dude. Everybody's like,
9,
fuck this.
Juror number 62, 62.
Juror number 41.
All right. So in a few minutes, I'm going to leave the bench to give you a chance to fill out the supplemental questionnaires that we have. I ask that you not talk to anyone around you or share with any other prospective juror or anyone any questions or comments or concerns that you may have about jury duty, either generally or in this particular case. If you should have any questions or concerns, you can raise that when you come back to talk to me. So we appreciate your patience. We understand that this will take a while, but I will recess now for you to do that. All right. Thank you.
All right.
Fucking jurors sitting next to each other talking about, it's the shit, huh? Right? Excuse me, no talking. Bro, this music's killing me. Like, CBS Boston is rocking it. Sounds like an old breakdance beat. Brad Blankenship Oh my goodness.
Get the
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad.
How dare you? Brown blanket ship, thank you, buddy. Bev, who has airline tickets? Jurors, raise your hand. You guys can't just take a red eye. Fucking Bev, dude, just going like talking all this shit about fucking innocent until proven guilty and all this shit. Just like,
Shut your fucking mouth! No problem, John. Shut the fuck up, you cunt! Shut it!
dude, that shit is infuriating. Hearing her talk like that, dude, it's infuriating. At least that music's not there no more. Oh yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, so Scott McGinnis just sent me this. Check it out. Yeah. You got Minion Mike there. You got Scott McGinnis. You got Turtle Boy. That's a great pick. You got what I'm guessing is Turtle Boy's doc crew back here, which is awesome. I'm stoked, man. Like I look forward to seeing something like really professionally done, being like telling his side of the story. Because like that shit will be interesting. Very, very interesting. And I'm gonna have to leave you guys with this feed for the moment.
You're watching WBZ News.
cruising is projected to break records in 2025 for the third year in a row. AAA says 19 million Americans are expected to take ocean cruises this year, a 4.5% increase from last year. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette hopped aboard a couple of ships to report on some of the new trends.
For
on
a
high
third
seas.
year in a row. Oh my God, look at the party. Sail away party. Hey. YOLO. Oh shit, dude, I know that guy. That's Omar. Bro. Wait a second. No fucking way. No, that's not Broma. Okay. I thought that was a friend of mine, dude, like that I knew from back in the day. Dude, it's almost his doppelganger, but no, it's not him. Amazing.
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad.
How dare you? Can we take a minute and do a shout out to my grandkid, Amira's 6th birthday? Say it loud, say it proud. Amira, happy birthday. You shouldn't be watching this, but happy birthday, Amira. I love it. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy. Yeah, let me, yeah. Yes. We called him Bromar. His name is Omar. Called him Bromar because when he got like really drunk, he turned into a different, there was like a shift in his character and his personality. And so like once a couple of drinks got in him, you know, and he had like a, you know, a Hialeah accent, you know, and everything like that. And when he got really drunk, his voice would get really raspy, and he'd be like, yo, bro. I remember there was this one time we went to this party. It was like some sponsored party. It was like sponsored by like Four Loko. It was ridiculous. Like, I don't even want to tell you like how I ended up the next day, how I woke up. But we went to this party, and he was like the host of the party. He's like, hey, it's too hot in here, bro. I'm not having a good time, bro. I'll never fucking forget that shit. And then, you know, he finally chilled out and had a good time. But yeah, Bromar was fun to hang out with. Most definitely. But yeah, that dude looked just like him. Same hair and everything. That shit fucked me up. Same, like, I swear he would wear a shirt like that on a cruise. Like, for sure. It fucked me up. Dude looked just like him. Bro. So look at this. You guys ready to fuck this dude up? Hold on. This dude is streaming me right now. He's obsessed. Well, he was streaming me. Look, he just switched. And he's got 6 people watching, bro. He's got a whopping 6 folks. So much fun. So much fun. This poor bastard is so desperate for attention. I miss these little with the sound. Is there sound? No. Remember how it used to go beep? Like it just stayed like that? Like as if it was supposed to be your fucking alarm clock if you left your TV on all night? Right after the fucking Star Spangled Banner? Yeah, I know. I got I totally cut myself dude, not only did I cut myself shaving today, like I took a chunk of my fucking skin, dude. Like, it's crazy. I never fucking, that never happened to me before. I never cut myself that bad. But it wasn't like a slice. So what it did was like it just fucking took like a chunk of my epidermis. Yeah, it sucked. And it didn't bleed that bad. It just left that redness. You know what I mean? And like literally, like, dude, you could see it in the razor. It was really fucking gnarly, dude. It was really gnarly. Yeah, so it was bad. So yeah, that's gonna be fun in the shower for the next fucking few days. Let's see. Motion for a new nickname for McCabe's McCrap. Okay. Okay. No, not that one. Dang, bro. You guys want to see what Plevin's doing? Let's try Plevin.
It's not really reasonably possible to plant those first taillight pieces. Then you're like, you don't really have to delve into the potential motive of Michael Proctor when you know that he had no opportunity to do it. You know,
Yeah, he had no opportunity to do it.
I don't know. That's just logic.
You bring up another good point with the idea of a conspiracy is that, like, generally, if you can't come up with a clear, like, articulable motive for said conspiracy, just not one here. The best they can come up with is like, oh, they didn't want to get in trouble for an assault. Like, so you're going to turn it into a murder? That's the solution. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? There's no clear motive. And the more people that they sweep into that, I mean, up to the judge. What is the judge's motive in engaging in this supposed conspiracy? Like, where's the motive there?
Right. And I've been seeing like the motive pop up again on TikTok. Like,
God,
people
this
are starting to be
fucking
like, I am from Canton and I know that Colin Albert is a dealer. And this, that old conspiracy from 2 years ago that was debunked. And I'm just like,
this guy's such a fucking clown.
Like, where
dude.
are these people getting this stuff from? Are they watching like old Turtle Boy?
No,
Or,
I'll
like,
tell you.
Sean-
I'll tell you. That's unfortunate. The drug dealer thing. So, and I only laughed because at one point, like the misinformation was getting really bad. I reached out to a guy who'd been talking to Chris Albert. And I'm like, watch this. I'm gonna take the plot of Ozark, right, and I'm gonna email Turtle Boy, and like he's gonna run it. Like he's not going to even question it. He's going to run it, and then I'm gonna go right on the heels of that and go, haha, that was me.
Shut up! Oh my God, I don't care.
Jesus. Nah, homie. Listen. How much time we got? We got like, I mean, it's supposed to be like a morning 15-minute break, right? So maybe at lunch, bro. Maybe at lunch, I'll give you a shot. Okay? Maybe at lunch, I'll give you a shot. You can come up here and bow down to El Jefe. Maybe. I'll give you a chance to kiss the ring. Maybe at lunch. If I can't think of anything better to do, I'll make time for you, okay, sweetheart? All right, hold on 1 second here. Full video? What do you mean full video? That shit is not full video. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna leave it on channel 5 here. And we'll just wait for it to come back on. Because I'm assuming it's gonna be like, yeah, it's supposed to be like a 15-minute break, right? Morning break. It's only 10:30. Bro. Thank God for coffee. Dude, I'm gonna fucking get fat during this trial. That always happens, dude. End up putting on a couple pounds around the waist. Because these trials, man, they're all day fucking things, dude. You know what I mean? And then like I end up ordering food and like I'm about to order some donuts, bro. Like that's about to happen. I'm about to order some fucking donuts. And that's bad. That's not good. Because I work out, I try to stay in shape. It's not good. But I'm totally about to fucking DoorDash some fucking donuts, dude. I mean, it's too late to get breakfast. Everything stopped serving breakfast at 10:30. I waited too long. But I can still get donuts. Fucking glazed, bro. Get me some fucking Paulos. You get me some Paulos, bro. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Dunkin', bro. That shit's happening. That's what I'm in the mood for. I'm doing it. I'm doing my usual too. You know what I say to that shit? Fuck the world. You know what I mean? Fucking love Dunkin', guy. Fucking love Dunkin', guy. What's up, Dina? Thockery Donuts. You better believe that shit. Believe that shit. JJ. Oh, shit. Melissa just bought my donuts. Thank you, Melissa. Melissa totally just bought my donuts. It's been really funny. I was just thinking, like, man, that DoorDash and that shit is expensive as fuck. And then I was like, boom, same amount, pretty much. That was dope. I'm even Steven, y'all. It's amazing. You guys are the best. ST, nobody can read what you're saying. Nobody can. Nobody knows what you're saying right now. Nobody knows. Couple of huge slabs of avocado toast. Yeah, that place has fucking great avocado toast, bro. That's what I get every time I go in there. It's delicious. Bro, I already got a fucking dasher, bro. Fuck yeah. Bro, that toast was the shit. Yeah, that's right, bro. James Jackson, bro. We got to literally break bread because we all had the avocado toast at the diner there. place is delicious. Really nice people there, man. Good service. I always enjoy break fasting in there. Break fasting. Breaking from my fast. I enjoy breaking from my fast in that break fast diner. Yeah, Nan was there too. Had some avocado toast as well. Everybody had the avocado toast, man. Tom CPU. Yeah, man. Shit was nice. As a matter of fact, I did. Okay. Okay. Drink it in. Clear as day, right there. Okay. Drink it in. Drink it in. Drink this in.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad.
How dare
GD Lynn, thank you so much. Have some drunken grown-ups donuts. I am having grown-ups donuts, bro. Okay. Oh, snap. What? Huh? I never got one of these before. Hold on. What is up? Get out of town. What? Man, that's so sweet. So I got a gift card. A DoorDash gift card. How did I? Oh, through Venmo. That's cool, man. I've never got one of those before, dude. That's dope as fuck. Thank you, Rosalind. I got a DoorDash gift card through Venmo. So Rosalind sent me a DoorDash gift card through Venmo. That was really cool. That was really cool, man. I'd never gotten one of those before. It's really dope. Yeah, man. That's really cool. Like, I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, you guys don't know how helpful that shit is, man. Seriously. That shit is fantastic. Like, especially when you're streaming trials, like you all come through like that, man. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. You guys are the best, bro. I'm like, you guys are amazing. When you're hungry, you guys like share like means to a meal of food. There's some good energy in that, man. Like, I always feel so grateful. Yeah, what is going on with this break, bro? This shit is taking forever. Nah, I ain't see Julie Grant this morning, dude. Fuck Julie Grant. Oh my goodness. That could happen, Petty Paralegal. Thank you so much. D&E reviews for old time's sakes. I mean, yeah, and they would kind of hit different now, wouldn't they? Maybe what we'll do, let's hold that off. Let's really build that up. Let's hold that off until testimony, until day of Chris Albert testimony. Let's hold off on that and really build that up for that day. For lunch on that day, we'll go over D&E pizza reviews. And that'll be fun. Okay, so Jason on X, and thank you guys on X for watching. It really means a lot. I appreciate it. And do me a favor and repost this shit. Spread the word, man. Repost this shit if you're watching on X. Jason says, not just a break. Turtle Boy says Christina Rex estimates is going to be 90 minutes before Bev comes back to the courtroom. So let's go over some Aiden tweets here. Let's do that. So which we have that, but this is what we want from Aiden sitting in there. So he's kept us up to date on that. When asked if they have bias toward either side of the case, about 15 jurors have raised their hand. Not sure what the difference between having a bias and an opinion is. He then tweeted, when asked if they would have a problem following the Constitution, 2 people raised their hand. One of them raised their hand every time. This juror definitely wants out of jury duty. And follows up with previous juror Victoria George is not just a gimmick by the defense. She seems to be a very active member of the team and is going over paperwork with Alan Jackson. I love that shit. So Aiden's in there. He's observing this. So then he follows up again with jurors are now completing the questionnaire that was subject to a motion. This is as of 6 minutes ago, guys. Jurors are now completing the questionnaire that was subject of a motion in limine. As they hand them in, the court officers make copies and give them to the defense and Commonwealth. Karen Reed and her team look through the questionnaire and likely identify potential good and bad based on their answers. Christina Rex estimates that this process will take 90 minutes before Judge Cannoni comes back and speaks with jurors one at a time. All right, so thank you for that, Jason. Appreciate you, buddy. So this could take a minute. And Bree, do it, Breezy. You got to do that correct. Bree, do it. Breezy. I'm sorry, what was that? Bree, do it. Breezy became a YouTube member. Welcome to Logic. Appreciate you. Man, I'm corny. Yeah, no, man. You're welcome. Thank you. Lally's outside ripping butts. What we could do is we could check in on Tom. Fucking Tom. Check in on Tom. Check in on Scott McGinnis out there. Holding it down. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Because now, well, what they're doing is they're streaming Justice Serve TV. I don't want to do that right now. But you know what you should do is you should absolutely go subscribe to Justice Serve TV if you're not already, because Justice Serve TV is badass, fucking amazing, actually. Let me find their channel and drop the link in chat. Yeah, so go subscribe to Justice Serve TV. Stop what you're doing right now. You ain't got nothing better to do anyway. And go subscribe to Justice Serve TV because they're amazing. Let me pitch them to you. I had them on. They were my most recent final guests indefinitely, but they were on, and they had me on their channel as well, and they are amazing. Both are have very impressive experience in law. Linda in particular worked on some really high profile cases. And she is just a fountain of knowledge and information. So I would recommend highly that you, again, stop what you're doing and go subscribe to them, because their channel's fresh, but considering the insight, the value of the insight that they're capable of providing, you would be missing out if you did not support them and engage and watch them. Dude, oh shit, my donuts are totally on the way right now too, bro. I'm fucking stoked, man. And then, yeah, I'm gonna leave this with you guys for just a second. All right. Or Michael from Justice Served got yelled at by Sergeant Hardman as we walked through the buffer zone. You have to see that. He was live. It was funny. Oh, really? I wish if somebody has a timestamp, I'll go over it. We got time. Like we got time. Bro, I'm so stoked to eat some donuts, dog. See if we can find some. All right. This is a little off, but it's helpful. This is from Brandy Churchwell. I mean, she's awesome. The number's slightly off, but you get an idea. This definitely gives you a visual. So 40 already formed, 78 knew of the case, and 14 haven't heard of the case. And Jessica Machado, 54 minutes ago, tweeted, "It is beyond surreal to see a juror from the previous Karen Reed trial standing alongside Karen Reed as a member of her defense team." That right there is very telling. After watching this juror throughout the last trial, my brain can't comprehend what she is here for this, that she is here for the second trial. The crossover is simply wild. I mean, and that's just true. Sorry, I'm just going over my live feed here. Well, not live feed, but Let's see this clip. I was trying to find. Yeah, that's what I wanted to go over. Because I hadn't listened to this yet. I hadn't listened to the Billy Bush interview yet. So I want to listen to it. We got time. Let me get Court back on the background here. Oh, wait. We got a live feed here. We're back, actually. We're back right now. Or at least that's live. Or no, this is the Cosgrove thing. Never mind. They just switched over to the Cosgrove, like, because that's Kevin Reddington right there. Cosgrove. Why did I say Cosgrove? Not Cosgrove. The Reddington, the Turtle Boy sitting in the gallery. Yeah, this is the doctor murder. So Turtle Boy's
Does
just
she
sitting
have
in.
clothing on when you left her?
We were downstairs.
Oh, this is kind of wild. I mean, why is there no other press in there right now? That's weird. Why is he the only press in there?
Everyone, you have the answers right now. You have the answer. You guys were together Thursday night, late. You're arguing. Tell us you had some drinks. And you wake up in the morning and you're in a hotel and she's gone. I mean, no. Let's just get to it here. I don't see no one talking about it.
Ashley, thank you so much. Is the defendant fucking testifying right now? Is that him?
I know this sucks. You know, there's no other word for it. I mean, people like, one thing to do now.
Thank you,
that's
Ashley.
the right thing. Sister, man up. Man up. What if family no issues that?
I was gonna say that's the cop that was on Proctor's texts.
We get through this.
Like, what was going on in those texts, bro? Proctor was like, she's got a leaky balloon knot. And he's just like, you ought not talk that way. You police officer. You ought not talk that way about a lady. But he didn't do that, did he? No, he didn't. Jesus Christ, dude. What is going on with this guy? I reckon I like me them fish fried potatoes.
Things don't happen.
Like, I don't understand what's going on right now in this courtroom. I guess they're listening to a recording.
Sure. Why don't we do that, George? Just leave the transcripts and your notebooks right on your chairs.
Oh, 11 a.m.
And we'll
recess.
take about a 15-minute recess.
All rise, please. Your exit.
His name is Aiden Carney, and he's known online as Turtle Boy. You got a podcast. There he is, Turtle Boy, with us right now. I'm going to call you Turtle Boy because your fans are in the chat section going nuts here, and that's what they're calling you. So, Aiden, Turtle Boy, you gained notoriety for your coverage of Karen Reed's case. You organized protests in support of her. How did you get involved in this?
Well, I wrote about it on April 18th, 2023. I'm a journalist, by nature. I've been doing this for about 10 years, investigative stories that catch my attention. But this one in particular, when I read the court filings about 15 months after John O'Keefe was killed, I actually looked into it. I remember when it first happened, I thought it was an accident because that's the way it was portrayed to us in the news. They even said on CBS or WBZ that there was ring camera video of her hitting him with the car, and so case closed, right? I mean,
which there wasn't. I don't recall.
No, that was a complete lie fed to them by the district attorney's office, which they have since taken back. But I bring that up to talk about how the public narrative was kind of crafted with this and why people like me weren't suspicious of it at first. I forgot about it. And then 15 months later, I read a court filing about the Google search, the 227 Google search that Jennifer McCabe conducted for How Long to Die in Cold. And then I just did a deep dive reading all of the court filings with this. And it just became apparent to me that I was sitting on the story of the century here, the most unreported story in the country. And I just did a deep dive into it, and it became apparent to me, and I think anyone who's being honest, that she did not do this, that someone else did. We don't know exactly who, but we know that it happened inside Brian Albert's house, and that it's covered up after the fact. And so I did my first.
This state trooper never goes in. He never goes into the house. He's leading the investigation, never sets foot into the house. What do you've played this over in your head a million times. I mean, I have my own theory. Do you have a theory that of what might have happened on that night and who might have done this?
Yeah. I mean, obviously I don't know every detail of what happened, but my general theory is that a lot of alcohol, you know, you got a bunch of guys, a lot of testosterone, a couple meatheads there. And
stop what you're doing right now. Like the video that the link I just dropped in chat for, and subscribe to the channel. It's Hot Mics with Billy Bush.
You know, John's a big boy too. John's 6'2", 220 pounds, and a cop, and he's drunk. And he gets invited to this house for an after party. And I think he walked into a hostile environment. Words were likely exchanged, and a fight broke out.
Yeah, one of the guys in there has been texting with his lady. So he's got, this Brian Higgins guy, an ATF agent. He's been texting. There's 50 texts between Karen and him, and they're flirty, and they're the whole thing. So who knows at this point? No one knows if John has found out about those, but he definitely doesn't like John because he likes his lady. Then you got the young kid, Brian Albert's son, who's having his birthday, and he's got some guys over. And then you got John O'Keefe is found with these marks all over his head. There seem to be teeth marks. And wouldn't you know it, the Alberts have a German Shepherd who's 80, 90 pounds named Chloe, who doesn't get along with strangers, who they had to, interestingly enough, months later, rehome because the dog's
Rehome.
violent. So clearly, and
Rehome.
when John's skin is tested, there's pig DNA on his arm, which comes from pork or food or, pig ear treats or whatever that is. I can't imagine how there would be pig DNA on those marks if those marks were by a car. I mean, it's almost too much. It must have been some type of row,
I don't know who this dude is, but he's at least done his homework on the case.
Of fight, and there was no wounds to his body.
Nothing. No
below
bruises,
the neck.
broken bones, nothing that you would typically see in a motor vehicle collision. Nothing like that. Like I said, his arm had linear, kind of parallel abrasions up and not abrasions. Lacerations.
I know his name is Billy Bush. I'm saying I'd never heard of him before.
Up and down the arm, and until the trial happened, we didn't know how they were going to explain those. We thought
extra, like the Hollywood tabloids channel or show. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha. All right, that makes sense. That tracks, because I don't really watch that stuff. Like, I don't usually give a shit about what's happening with celebrities, but I'm glad that they're at least somebody from there talking about this. This is great. This is great coverage. Yeah, I love that this guy did his homework. I'm fucking stoked.
We thought that they're going to say that this head hit the taillight. No, they came up with an even crazier theory that John O'Keefe, I guess, had his arm out like he was hitchhiking or something, and that she backed into him at 24 miles an hour in the snow in just 60 feet, which is physically impossible. I've tested it out myself. You cannot hit 24 miles an hour in 62 feet in that type of vehicle. It's physically impossible, especially in the snow. And their theory is that his arm hit the taillight, and the arm shattered the taillight into 47 pieces that acted as daggers and then sliced his arm up and down. There wasn't a single drop of blood on any piece of taillight. In fact, there was no taillight found at the scene when the Canton Police Department searched it early in the morning on video. We got a video of them searching it, and there's no taillight there. Yet magically, hours later, 11 hours later, when the state police do a CERT team search of the area, we still don't know who's on the CERT team. A posse of guys show up, and at 5:45, they start shoveling. And lo and behold, someone, we don't know who, because they never testified, found taillight. Somebody found 4 pieces of taillight. And instead of just, doing a complete search, they just left the scene unattended. And then over the course of the next 3 weeks, they found 47 pieces of red polycarbonate taillight scattered in the exact same place where the Canton police had searched at 7 a.m. that morning and not found a single piece of taillight. It just wasn't there. And then it was there. It didn't appear there until after Michael Proctor had the car towed back to the Canton Police Department, something he lied about for 18 months about what time he towed the car. So it would give him plausible deniability, I guess, as to how that taillight could have got there. But the taillight didn't appear there until Michael Proctor had the car towed back. Like you said, they never searched the house. If a dead cop goes on your yard, Billy, or a dead cop is found on my yard, I got news for you. They're going in the house. They're going to ask to look around because there's a dead cop on your yard. Okay. And they're going to, and he was invited to your house, and somebody who was dropped off there. So they're going to ask to take a look around, but that didn't happen with Brian Albert, because as Michael Proctor said in his text messages, the homeowner isn't going to catch any shit because he's a Boston police officer.
The homeowner, Brian Albert, never left his house. In the morning, you got women screaming out front when Karen Reed and Jennifer McCabe and one other friend find John O'Keefe's body on the front lawn. This guy, who's a Boston police officer and investigator, this is in his DNA to investigate situations like this, never comes out of the house. And we know the lead in that guy right there. If you're looking on YouTube, Brian Albert, he never comes out of his house one time. And as you know, Michael Proctor never goes in. If you are
Yo,
just joining us
I'm
right
fucking
now, I'm
loving this
talking
guy.
to Turtle Boy Aiden Carney, who goes by Turtle Boy. He is a podcaster, a journalist, and he has been on the free Karen Reed, I guess, for the last 2 years on that crusade. He started it. Look, there's so many things that are troubling here, but the idea in the end, if this comes down to a massive police conspiracy of cops and former cops getting together with their children and their nieces and their friends, to everybody to keep the same, that's the one thing that's just, how is it held together this long? If it's one giant conspiracy, how no one has broken? I mean, I
Why
think
would
of
it,
this.
yeah, I mean, people say that, but why would it break? I mean, why? So why would
It
they?
can't
'cause
break.
Then they got to go to jail.
Right.
It's not breaking because they got away with it.
You got one girl, this Julie Nagel says she left the house at 12:30, and she says, "Oh, wait a minute, I did see a black blob on."
Yeah, that story evolved. That was initially a shadowy figure. And by the way, she wasn't interviewed by police until 9 months afterwards, after the defense had pointed out that it was odd that not a single person who left the house that night saw a 220-pound man lying just feet away from the curb, and they all drove right past him. So they needed someone to say, like,
because that
oh
track.
yeah, I might have seen something there. And Julie,
Yeah, it was a blob. And how big was the blob? She said 6 feet, 6 feet. So the size of a man, essentially.
How about that? That
the
was the first time
snowplow
at the
driver
trial.
who was coming by, this guy, Lucky, I think, I can't remember what lawyer it was.
Listen, people. These things are so good. Okay. That I've seen these things tattooed on people. Okay. Keep that in mind. Think about that for a second. Let that fucking soak. All right. I've seen these fucking things tattooed on people. That's how good they are. Okay.
It was said, Lucky's not going to be able to buy a beer in this town for a long time. Lucky was trying. They asked Lucky, the snowplow guy, when you went by at 2:30 in the morning, did you see anything? He said, absolutely not. He's got the biggest, floodlights in town. What do you imagine happens here? My prediction at the beginning was that the same thing's going to happen. Like it was in the first trial.
Don't get fat, Will.
The jury will they'll have to acquit Karen Reed on murder and leaving the scene. But the involuntary manslaughter, I mean, in the end, when you've had 7 to 9 drinks, you can't completely rule out that she might have, because they're telling her, you said, not only they're all saying, when you were there in the scene, you were screaming, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. They're all telling her she said that. She doesn't remember doing it, but she had many cocktails, Turtle Boy.
Yeah, they're not all telling her that. A lot of most of the first responders that testify said that she didn't say anything like that. I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. Absolutely not. Like there's only 3 that said that she said that. One of whom is Katie McLaughlin, who committed perjury at the last trial when she said that she barely knew Caitlin Albert, the daughter of the homeowner who was there that night. She was the first witness who said that Karen Reed said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him. And who got Katie McLaughlin in touch with Michael Proctor? That would be Kevin Albert, the Canton police detective who was brothers of Brian Albert, who was supposed to be conflicted off of the case, yet he's finding witnesses and delivering them to his drinking pal, Michael Proctor. I call him a drinking pal because in text messages, it was revealed that he left his gun and badge in Michael Proctor's squad car after a day of drinking together down at Cape Cod. So, those are the only people that said I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
When
that
you
claim
hear
that Karen
somebody
Reed said
talk about that shit,
Is
dude,
Karen Reed the perfect defendant?
When you hear somebody tell the details of this the way like Turtle Boy does, just one fact after the next, you're just like, dude, how can anybody like not see how fucking ridiculous this is?
No.
No. I mean,
she drinks way too much. I mean, someone's got to tell her that, 9 cocktails on a 110-pound woman. I mean, and then driving the car. That's,
I would say she talks too much. I think that is her biggest weakness. I mean, a lot of people like to drink. Everybody was drinking that night. I don't fault her for drinking, but I fault her for making her life more difficult, if you will, making her case more difficult with her own words, just unnecessary, unforced errors by saying things that the Commonwealth is taking out of context, and just makes life more difficult for her. It's just completely unnecessary.
Give me something she said that that's problematic for her.
Like in this most recent documentary she did, she said in the documentary that she had 6 drinks. There's no reason to say that. You don't need to say that. Let them say that, and she said that, like, kind of like, when this is all over, I could just use a drink. It's like, oh, when
Yeah,
she
yeah,
said
I
that,
saw
I'm like,
that, yeah.
don't say that. I totally get it, because it's stressful and you want to drink after that. But it's like, not when you're on trial.
What? Absolutely. Dory Yogi, you absolutely know what's up. Boston cream in fucking full effect. It's lit.
And they're accusing you of drinking and driving and killing someone. It's unfortunate. It's not fair that she can't say these things, but you got to do what you got to do to get yourself acquitted and get yourself out of this jam. The facts of the matter, stick to the facts. The ARCA experts, who both have PhDs in crash reconstruction and their biomechanics and all that good stuff, they both said that it's physically impossible for John O'Keefe's injuries to have come from an automobile collision. Point blank, that's it. Dude wasn't hit by a car. Nothing else matters at that point. I hit him, doesn't matter.
It's just that simple.
All the testimony that McAlbert's, as shady as that is, that doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that she didn't hit him with the car, which means somebody else killed John O'Keefe.
You think? Is the governor aware of this? She
chimed in about Proctor's text messages, because that's it. But other than that, you would think she claims to be this, liberal, person who wants to hold police accountable and all this. And here you have the most blatant story of police corruption ever. And she's just sitting on her hands waiting to see what happens. I'm with you. I think there is a decent chance for a mistrial here. I don't think there's any chance for a conviction. I'd say it's probably 60-40. I would say acquittal to mistrial, depending on how this goes. But there's something about this case that gets people just not thinking straight. That just gets them to say, well, science isn't real, and butt dials aren't real, and all this Google searches aren't real. And I guess she did it because she's a bad person.
What happened? I'm really interested in John O'Keefe's family. I see his mother, and I see the family sitting there in the front row, the brother, the mom, the whole thing. And let's just, in all of this, we got to take a moment to talk about what a good guy John O'Keefe seemed to be. His sister died, and Officer O'Keefe, takes her son and daughter, his niece and nephew, as his own to raise them. Like, what a upstanding fella. Now his memory is in our rear view in a major way, because we've got this disaster in front of us here. They're going after Karen. But what about his family? Like, are they sitting there? They're seeing the same evidence we are. We're seeing the teeth marks of clearly an animal of something all over his arm with pig DNA in there from pig treats or from pig ears or whatever it is. We're seeing, that there are no wounds below the neck, but there are to the head. They're seeing all the same stuff we are. Are they keep the police family together and sacrifice this young woman, keep the family together above all else? Or are they going to want to see it at the end? Who did this to our son? And let's go after that person.
In one ear and out the other. That's what all that stuff is for them. They're in too deep. They Jennifer McCabe got to them early. On that morning, she was calling Peggy O'Keefe, getting it in her head that Karen Reed did this. By the time Karen Reed she got out of the hospital, she was involuntarily sectioned for allegedly making statements that she was suicidal. And by the time she went back to the O'Keefe house and got back there, Peggy O'Keefe had already made accusations that she did this.
And
listen, bro, like, have some dignity, dude. Like, I gave you a link last night You gave me some bullshit. I didn't even read most of it. I only saw you say no because you were tired or some shit. Gave you the opportunity. Okay. And now what you're doing is just like you're in my chat, like blasting you're like a chihuahua begging for attention, just yapping at my heels as I'm just trying to walk, you know, when I'm trying to do my thing, dude. And you're like in my chat, like Glera, I need some attention, Glera, can I have some attention? My blouse isn't giving me enough attention, Glera. I can't help you, dude. I can't help you. Like, just like I'm trying to save you some dignity, bro. You know? Like, go back to your little dark hole with your unplugged mic, your prop mic. Like, that's you had your opportunity. Now you're just acting like a like an ex that won't stop blowing up my phone, dude. Jesus, have some dignity, my friend.
And they had a volatile relationship. I mean, they
weren't
Karen and
tight.
John were, so they probably didn't love Karen in the first place, and even
you know
John's
like,
nieces and nephews.
because like I'm in a good mood, dude. You know what I mean? I just had like 5 fucking donuts, bro. You know what that does to somebody's fucking dopamine? I feel good, bro. You're not gonna come in here and start. And Glera, I need attention, Glera. Please, Glera, I need attention. Like, dude, go sit in the dark.
Nephews whom he was raising, talked about how their relationship was not so great. And again, Karen is texting another man, not their son. You're hot. Let's all agree Brian Higgins is not hot. Can we first of all get,
we can all,
there's
we
nothing
can all
hotter.
agree with
Higgy
that.
Baby is not hot. One look at you.
No,
Have a picture of
Higgy
Higgy
Baby
Baby
is
from our
not
YouTube
hot.
crowd here. Put up Higgy Baby for a second. I think the whole court should
This guy's fucking awesome, dude. I'm loving this guy.
come together and say, yeah, not hot. Okay, not when you see the handsome John O'Keefe with the baby blues and the whole thing. This guy, you'd kick him out of bed for eating crackers for sure.
Yeah, that's not even a consolation prize.
Kick him out of bed for eating crackers for sure.
I think that, obviously their relationship was not ideal. You can hear that from her voicemails. You can hear that just from reading the text messages. Like, they probably shouldn't have been together. And from reading their text messages, I'm not like a shrink or anything like that. It seemed like neither one of them wanted to leave. Like, both of them knew that they should leave, but neither of them wanted to pull the trigger. I think a lot of people are in relationships like that in general. But it certainly wasn't like she's not going to kill him. Like, they could just break up. She's not going to kill him over this. And by the way, that night, they were lovey-dovey. Like, at the bar when she walked in to see if McCarthy's, they went over and she hugged him and they like kissed. And that's better than a lot of people have for relationships. So this idea.
All right, sweetheart, I'm gonna need you to sit in the corner for the day, okay? Just sit. You're in detention, okay? There's no more of this today, sweetheart.
Idea that they were in this toxic relationship where they were just fighting all the time, and she decided that she was going to finish him off that night on the front yard of a Boston police officer is just madness. I mean, they say that Karen Reed, Occam's razor, is the simplest solution, right? Is often the correct one. The simplest thing here is not that a woman defied the laws of Newton's physics on Brian Albert's front lawn. That is not the most logical explanation. The most logical explanation is the guy with 2 black eyes and a gigantic cut in the back of his head and dog bites on his arm, went in that house and got the crap kicked out of him. And then they threw him on the lawn and he died of hypothermia. That's the most logical explanation to all this.
Wow. By the way, the chat section.
It is the most logical explanation. I mean, it's not some crazy, wild conspiracy theory. It's the most logical thing, considering the evidence. Plebin. Yeah. You guys hating on me, man. Listen. Yes, I eat 5 donuts. Shut up. Okay? But it's all good, bro. See that? See that right there? 0 sugar. Okay? That's what I put in my coffee. zero sugar coffee. So it's all good. Okay? It's all good. Treat me like I'm some fat fuck. All right? All good. Okay? Balanced out. The no sugar balances out the sugar from 5 donuts. Everybody knows that. Okay? Everyone knows that.
Section is on fire here. Lots of people weighing in. You've got a lot of thick neck Higgins. Christina calls him. Wow, this is unbelievable. People are really fired up about this in your area. Howard, listen, you yourself, you have a little bid of a legal issue yourself. Is that over with?
Oh,
You
oh
have
no.
intimidation
No.
of witnesses. You were showing up at lacrosse games, shaming some of these people. What'd you do?
I mean, I showed up.
What
I
did
showed
you
up
do,
as a
Turtle Boy?
reporter. I went up to Jennifer McCabe and I asked her why she Googled how long to die and cold at 2:27 in the morning. Because it seems like that's what
Y'all are out here judging me acting like I ate a half a dozen fucking donuts, bro. I only ate 5. You fucking bunch of judgmental son of a motherfuckers, you. I only ate 5.
a reporter should ask somebody.
Mike
who
Wallace
Googled,
right there.
Yeah, and then delete it. I mean, that's what reporters used to do. They used to ask
YOLO.
people questions. So I asked her this question, and she's smiling, treating it like it's a joke. And I'm there for about all of 7 minutes. And on my way out, I call them cop killers because to me, definitionally, that's what they are. What do you call people who kill the cop other than cop killers?
Right.
So I called them that on the way out, and I got indicted for witness intimidation for that. And so
Thank you,
the
Gilly.
purpose was never to,
Gilly.
of course, witness intimidation. When you think of that, that's like when the mob or gangsters tell you, like, you better not testify against my homie, or else we're going to break your legs, or, you better not testify. You better change your testimony. I didn't say anything like that. I just asked her questions. I made these people feel uncomfortable, I guess. They didn't like these questions I asked. Too bad. That's not witness intimidation. I wasn't trying to get anyone to change their testimony or not testify. The Commonwealth knows damn well that I'm never going to be convicted of this. The whole purpose of these charges with me was simply to muddy the waters with Karen Reed. They want to associate her with me, and they want to say, well, she's bad because she's associated with this guy who's got all these felony charges for witness intimidation, so she must be guilty. She must have consciousness of guilt. That's what they're calling this. And they got our phone records, and they saw that we'd talked a bunch of times. God forbid 2 human beings talk on the phone, especially a reporter, and the subject of his reporting. So they're trying to make it sound all nefarious, but it's really just, what is traditionally called doing a journalism.
Yeah, Aiden Carney is Turtle Boy, and he's been all over this. We've got a question in our control room from the chat section there. Steve, by the way, you'd like him, Aiden.
This guy
from Newton
is unfucking believable.
Lemonster, born in Lin City of Sin, baby.
Lin City of Sin, Lemonster. All right, what's the question in the chat?
All right, from Gunner 8S. Why did Karen not go into the house after waiting for John for a while?
That was never the plan. The plan was always to drop him off there. She didn't want to. I mean, these are grown ass people. Who goes to after parties? That's what I never understood that. I'm like, you guys are all like in your 40s and 50s. You're going to after parties.
These guys have a great, how long has it been since Aiden got on to a show like this, besides Howie Carr, where there was a natural banter that's taking place here? Like, this dude, Billy Bush, did his fucking homework. He knows what he's talking about. He's at least selling that he's passionate about his opinion on it. And he's not dodging the facts. And it's making Turtle Boy a lot more comfortable. And Aiden is getting to be Aiden, He's not having to hold back any. He's not having to I gotta take it easy here because I might fucking I don't want to lose this. This is good publicity for the case, and I don't want to fuck that up. There's none of that here because these guys are fucking using their common sense. They're using their fucking brains, and they're going, what the fuck is going on in Canton right now? The fuck is going on in Norfolk County? How the fuck is this even going to trial? Yeah, this dude just fucking started off top notches in my book.
He's like, you're like in college still. Like, what are we doing
It's
here?
not a
And Karen-
party. It's getting wasted in someone's kitchen. It's not even. It's
yeah,
like,
it's like, who the hell wants to do that? And so Karen Reed, like John's the one that wanted to go.
Oh my God.
And so she brings him there and she drops him off in the
That's
house.
exactly
I guess,
what
was
it
extremely
is.
dark. And she's like, just text me to let you know, you're good. So the plan was never for Karen to go in the house. The plan was for her to drop him off, her to say everything's all set. See you later. And he never did. And that upset her very much. And that's what led to those angry voicemails you heard.
You're with a girl. You're doing this. You're doing that. Yeah. Okay. So I'll say, Turtle Boy, we've got one of Karen's very good friends. I'm sure you know Nick Rocco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nick's an interesting character. He's raised some money for Karen. Really interesting. He won $1 million, this guy, in the lottery
Yeah,
with a
you saw that,
scratch-off
huh?
ticket. He won it with a scratch-off ticket. He's using some of that money to help Karen Reed by raising
fucking wild,
$500,000 for some of her for her defense analysts and some, because I mean I think the case is pro bono, but he's still, they got to pay some of these
The experts. That's what's costing all the money.
endless
That's what
experts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to talk to him. Turtle Boy, what an amazing thing. You must feel, I guess the final thought I have with you is if Karen gets acquitted or there's a mistrial and she walks, which I believe will happen, the Peggy O'Keefe, the O'Keefe family, they're sort of all in here with the fraternal order of police and the Alberts and everybody, that they're probably not going to turn around and go after the actual person, the actual culprit. So whoever did it is going to get away with it.
That's right. That's right. I mean, barring federal intervention, and we're told that the federal investigation is over, that will be the case. Is that, and that's unfortunate because we'll never have closure. Like we'll still be divided in our camps. Then they'll say that she got away with murder, but you know what? That's fine. Because she is innocent. She clearly didn't.
I'm sorry. It's just that this is my first impression of this Billy Bush gentleman, and he's fucking killing me right now, and in a good way. It's the dude is totally reminding me of a Ryan Gosling in The Big Short kind of character, behind the scenes. I see him yelling at an assistant. You know what I mean? But it's funny to me. It's funny to me. I just see the guy being that guy that's just are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? How hard is it to say no macadamia nuts? If I'm telling you no macadamia nuts, are you telling me that it's difficult for you to repeat those exact words to a cashier? Is there nothing? Am I miscommunicating? I could see him being that guy. But it's very funny to me. It's very funny to me. And maybe he's earned it. I don't know anything about Hollywood, bro. He's probably earned it. But this dude has definitely got an assistant who is earning her money. Or his. Free Karen Reed, of course. Bev spinning specs. Remember for 9 months.
Didn't do this. And we don't, in this country, we don't put people in jail for the rest of their lives,
right?
Because you think they might have done something, or because they're not a nice person, or because they left angry voicemails,
or because someone else did something and you are going to cover that.
Right. Or because she has guilty face. I love this point.
Or because they left angry
that Billy Bush makes here. I love this point here.
Or because someone else did something and you are going to cover that up. I mean, it's
we don't put people in jail on a hunch in this country. It's beyond reasonable doubt for a reason.
I mean, look at his hair, dude. That is professionally done. That's some Nick Rocco fucking work right there. That's what that shit is.
So there's absolutely, I still believe this is the United States of America, and that no jury will ever convict Karen Reed.
Turtle Boy.
Look at that. Every strand accounted for, on point, doing its job. Boom, 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 boom. Look at it. Boom, curving right there. This is, I'm trying to tell you, this is all, none of this is accidental. Premeditated, partner. Right here. None of this is accidental. This dude has got his shit worked out. Like, minus the serial killing, he's Patrick Bateman. You know what I mean? Fucking doing crunches. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this motherfucker is just always going. I'm serious.
Boy, Aiden Carney, thank you very much. What a fascinating man you are, and interesting stuff. What you've done to ignite this community. This man has put more people outside the courthouse than assembled for Johnny Depp. I'll tell you that. Appreciate it. Let's stay in touch, shall we?
Will do, Billy. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Love it, bro. That was awesome. That was fucking awesome. Yeah, dude. Like, you know, this dude, he's fucking on the rower. You know what I'm saying? He's on the rower, and his assistant is standing right there with a fucking iPad, and he's going, okay, I'm listening. Give me the rundown. Aiden Kearney. Is it Kearney? Carney. Got it. Okay. What? The cops did what? Solo cups? What? And he's getting the rundown. He's getting the rundown the whole time. His assistant telling him what's what. He's got another assistant in the other ear telling him about some other shit involving fucking Blake Lively and fucking Ryan Reynolds and shit. He's fucking absorbing it all. Fucking Rowan, bro. That's that guy. I see it. I see it. I know the type. I'm telling you. I know the type. Dude is a fucking machine. Okay? Let's see if we could find what's going on with Tom. Oh, there's some streaming. Oh, let's see what's going on with this fucking weirdo.
Sorry.
Right, exactly. His assistants has assistants.
Do lucky chest. Yes, do lucky chest.
It's just so funny. Like, I can't even fucking believe, dude. I can't. I will never get over that first impression I have of fucking Kevin Reddington. I will never get over it. Fucking crazy. Like, Reddington knows he did it.
You were up to that night. He was angry. He was angry for whatever reason.
Like, I guess they're listening to like a recording. I don't know if it's a recording of his interrogation or what. But it's like saying Karen Reed murder trial, but it's, I guess they're just showing this while we wait. Okay, so I mean, yeah. So he did confess.
No, you're up there. Please. We don't want up there. We don't want to it's gonna get dark. We want to get this done.
Some fucking psycho that strangled his wife and threw her in a pond. That fucking guy said to me, dude, I'll never fucking forget it. It was the most bizarre interaction I've ever had with a human being as a first impression in my life. Like, no, dude, I'm trying to tell y'all, like, everybody likes Reddington, bro. I like Reddington. Dude, how am I not going to like that guy? How in the fuck am I not going to like that guy after having that for a first impression? That's the best first impression I've ever had from a fucking high-profile lawyer in my life. That beats Alan Jackson. Sorry.
We're up there. Can we find her, Harry?
And that shit was dope. Meeting Alan Jackson was like amazing. But that doesn't, there's no way that tops Reddington. There's no way that tops Reddington. I mean, even Jackson would agree. Even he would agree. I guarantee it.
Aggressively talking to me about being angry about stuff.
Like, I want to check other shit out, but I don't know when this shit's gonna come back on or what. But I don't want to sit here and look at this fucking weirdo. Like, I don't really know anything about the case. Yeah, and Plevin ended his stream. Looks like. Yeah, Ingolf Turk. Is it? How do you even say his fucking name? Is it fucking Twerk? Yeah, we saw you, dude. I was just sitting in the Turk case because it's boring in here. Trooper Koslowski from the Proctor group text is on the stand. Oh, wow. What's he doing on the stand? That's weird. In the Turk case. Okay. Turk. Twerk. Look at the ass on that bitch. Look at the titties. Drop that bass. Twerk. Pop that pussy. Dude, you couldn't live in Miami without hearing that shit. Liz, thank you so much for gifting a membership. What do you mean? Only grown men over 40 wear white shoes. I still wear white sneakers. I love my white sneakers, man. They pop. You know what I mean? I wear dark clothing and I wear my white sneakers and they pop. And I like it. Dude, should we go over like old testimony or something? Like something? Yeah, like I'm totally winging it here. Is there like a new court TV video or something? Okay, sweet. Oh, this is live. It's premiering right now.
Those prospective jurors.
Oh God.
Yeah, so yesterday they had a pretrial conference where they debated between the state and the defense all of these 50 plus different questions. A lot of these were coming from the defense. They wanted to expand that voir dire, that questioning of the jury panel. And really what Judge Curtin, the Hartford County Circuit Court judge who's overseeing this case, sort of shut the defense down and said, look, I'm not going to start diving into these very specific or sometimes
that case is crazy, man. I hope that dude fucking fries.
Expedition. The defense was trying to gain more information about the jurors so they could use that in their selection process. So what she really said was that I'm going to ask a very general question. Have you heard about this case? And if so, how have you heard about it? And then I will allow you to follow up with questions of that juror to determine if they can be fair and impartial.
Rita, thank you for that. We know that the defendant's lawyers have made the argument.
Shut up. See, like that was what I was looking at, but it's like, hold on, man. Maybe. I'll just rewind it. Yeah, let's do a little hate watching, y'all. Let's do a little hate watching, y'all. We're not finger popping each other's
ass. During the trial, the jury would be able to hear outside noise and influences. It is a deliberate, ongoing, strategic investment to reach the potential jury pool.
I like talking. I like to reveal the truth. The retrial for Karen Reed officially begins today, and we're bringing you live moments from court throughout the jury selection process. So how will both sides weed out the people who've already made up their minds? We'll talk about it. And the Reed defense team is adjusting to a big ruling from the court. They are prohibited from pointing the finger at Colin Albert. But trying to point the finger at Brian Albert and Brian Higgins is still potentially allowed. We'll explain. Also, the murder trial of Rachel Morin beginning today.
This lady's so full of shit.
Defendant's team is arguing that he can't get a fair trial. Well, the attorney representing Rachel Morin's family is joining us live on the program to respond. Plus, an Arizona dad charged in the hot car death of his daughter is rejecting a plea deal. But will the jury hear about his alleged addictions and public use of pornography and a failed custody battle as well?
Public use of pornography. Okay, thank you, Dr. Evil.
Discuss it. It's all coming up next for you right here on Opening Statements.
Public use of pornography.
Good Tuesday morning to you and welcome to Opening Statements. I'm Julie Grant. It is time for some coffee and some court.
Unfortunately, you are.
Or as I like to say, grab that cup of coffee or tea or whatever you like in the morning. It's time for my opening statement. Rachel Morin deserves justice. Today, her family will take a giant step closer to getting that justice.
I mean, I agree with her there.
Justice for her. Her loved ones have been living with a nightmare since August 5th of 2023 when Rachel...
Oh, that's fucked up. Like, is it fucked up that...
Her loved ones have been living with a nightmare since August 5th.
Is it fucked up that Rachel Morin in that picture is doing a Dr. Evil face? I don't subscribe to coincidence, folks. I believe that that's Rachel Morin smiling down on us right now for being on the right side of things. I believe that we have Rachel Morin's spirit. We have its approval.
5th of 2023 when Rachel...
People, like, let's...
Her loved ones have been living with a nightmare since August...
You gonna tell me that that's not? Come on, folks. Rachel Moore's got our back.
Is 5th of 2023 when Rachel was viciously attacked and murdered while she was out for a jog. Rachel was so many things to so many people, and most importantly, she was a beloved mother to 5 beautiful kids. And just because our cameras aren't permitted to film the alleged killer's trial, it doesn't make the case of any less interest to us. 23-year-old Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez shouldn't have even been in our country. He was here illegally. Police say that after he murdered a young woman in El Salvador, he crossed our border illegally in February of 2023.
Gina's post where?
Detectives then say he went on to brutally assault a 9-year-old girl and her mother in California, invading their home to do it.
Yeah,
And
like this shit was crazy, man. Like that shit was crazy. There was like ring camera footage, but they couldn't catch his face. But he left DNA, and the DNA matched. He left DNA in both places, and DNA matched. And then they were able to catch the guy. And imagine it was really hard to catch the guy because the guy's not even legal here. I mean, right. I mean, she's right about this case. I will give her that. I agree with every single thing she's saying about this case. I followed it when it was happening. I even covered it to some degree.
And then police say he traveled to Bel Air, Maryland, and murdered Rachel Morin. If he did what police allege he did, then that scumbag murdering predator needs to pay dearly.
I agree.
As his trial kicks off, may we send our love, our light, our prayers, and all of our good wishes to Rachel Morin's family. Her life mattered, and she's the one who deserves justice. That's my opening statement. We'll have more on Rachel Morin coming up for you later this hour. Right now, it's time for your daily docket.
Would you agree, sir, that you were in love with Kate McLean?
Sorry, what?
That you were in love or had feelings for Kate McLean?
Just as friends.
Just you know.
In Glenn's case, resuming police to court office defendant Karen Reed's retrial for the death of her boyfriend, Boston police
All right, get ready to hate Julie Grant again.
officer John O'Keefe. Over 100 jurors have been summoned to report to court today, and this process could take weeks. Earlier this month, Judge Beverly Cannoni denied Reed's request to delay the start of her trial.
I'm not going to grant the motion. All right. We have jurors coming in that were summoned months ago. What I will do is we'll start impaneling on April 1st.
Hold on, let me see. Former Karen Reed juror just showed up at Dunkin' Donuts for us supporters. She blew us all a kiss, said she is thankful for being out here. Look at that. Some Dunkin' love. From Dunkin' Love. I love it. That's amazing.
It will likely take a while. If we get a jury before April 25th, I'll rehear you on your motion. We won't swear the jury because obviously that's when jeopardy attaches. And we'll take it from there, but we will start April 1st with impanelment.
So Reed's retrial is going to look a bit different than the first time around. So there's going to be an extended buffer zone put in place. You know that shot we always take in front of those courthouse stairs where lots of action is? Well, that's all gone now. Also, there's a new attorney on the defense team added recently. Well, 2 new attorneys technically, but one of them added very recently who served as a juror. She was not a deliberating juror. She was relieved of her duties. She was an alternate, but she has been added. And she doesn't practice criminal law either.
Look at Julie Grant taking little jabs. Yeah, maybe she doesn't practice criminal law, but she just brought everybody some fucking Dunkin', lady. So you're not going to make anybody hate her here, okay? Because this lady is fucking Amazing.
Either, by the way, if you were wondering. All right, so who's going to be an ideal juror? Law.
If you were wondering.
Either, by the way, if you were wondering. Has been added. And she doesn't practice criminal law either, by the way, if you were wondering. Has been added. And she doesn't practice criminal law either, by the way, if you were wondering. All right, so who's going to be an...
Wow, dude. Lady, what is your problem?
You're a little cunt.
Oh.
Ideal juror for Karen Reed and for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We have a tremendous power panel to talk about this. Let's welcome these brilliant ladies in. With me, former prosecutor Melba Pearson, retired FBI special agent Jennifer Coffindaffer, and podcaster and host of the Roberta Glass True Crime Report, Roberta Glass. Good morning to you all. Melba, I want to start with you, please. As an attorney, looking at both of these sides, who would be the ideal juror for the Commonwealth and then for the Reed team?
So good morning, ladies. And I think this is going to be a very tough one from the standpoint that you have to be basically living under a rock to have not heard about this case. So to find a juror that has not heard about this case at all is going to be virtually impossible. But what both sides are going to be trying to do is to find out whether or not the potential juror has any preformed ideas or preconceived notions as towards guilt or innocence. So anyone who is sitting there that already is like, Karen Reed is not guilty, and or Karen Reed is absolutely guilty, end of the story, both of those jurors would be bad people, in other words, for this particular case. And I think also both sides may be interested to know about potential jurors' feelings about law enforcement, because I think that's going to play a critical role as well. If you don't believe anything that law enforcement says.
Dude, Twattendoffer can only get a spot with fucking Julie Grant. Julie Grant's the only one who's like, fucking Vinnie Politan's not going to entertain her bullshit no more, dude. She's too fucking stupid, and she's already shown the world how stupid she is, and she continues to do it like every day on Twitter. It's ridiculous. So and Julie Grant spews out the same stupidity all over X. So they're two peas in a pod of fucking stupidity.
Because you've had negative experiences, that'll definitely influence the way that you'd be looking at the facts of this case. And also the opposite is true. If you're somebody that always believes law enforcement and has a strong feeling or attachment towards law enforcement, you might be viewing the evidence in a skewed manner as well. So those are some of the things I think both parties are going to be looking for.
Yeah, great points, Melba. Jennifer Coffindaffer, the stealth juror concern that the Commonwealth surely has. Your thoughts on that, and also whether this additional attorney could be helpful in possibly picking the ideal jurors for the Reed team.
Well, good morning, Julie and panel. First of all, I think that it's going to be very difficult to avoid a stealth juror getting on. They will be practiced. We know the questions. They have been out publicly, so they can go ahead and practice what they will or will not say. What I think is really important is that the counsel really watch what and how these individuals are responding to these questions. That's going to be key to try to figure out if they're lying or not. So I'm hopeful that there will be good individuals there to scope that out. As far as the defense's brand new attorney that was on the prior jury, I don't know if she'll be really that helpful. First of all, she's not even a criminal attorney, as you well pointed out. And second of all, I think she's there more to give guidance regarding some of the points that should be made that hit home with the jurors in the previous trial.
Great points, Jen. Thank you for that. Roberta, last but certainly not least on this point about the jury selection, I wanted to ask you about something. I enjoy listening to you so much about how you really dive in and have talked a lot about illusions that have been presented in this case in particular to try to convince the public. And when you think about it, who's really in that jury pool? I'm wondering if the people who are at home, not at that courthouse, not engaging in spewing hate online, I'm wondering if those people are going to come out and present themselves as the fair-minded, honest, good citizens that you would want on a jury who aren't looking to take the case one way or another. I'm wondering if we're just not hearing from those people.
You serious?
Lady, what the fuck are you talking about right now? Now, okay, because I got to hear that one more time because I can't believe my fucking ears.
I'm wondering if the people who are at home, not at that courthouse, not engaging in spewing hate online, I'm wondering if those people are going to come out and present themselves as the fair-minded, honest, good citizens that you would want on a jury who aren't looking to take the case one way or another. I'm wondering if we're just not hearing from those people, if that's going to be our pool. Curious, who do you think is going to get picked for the pool?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but that sounded a whole lot like Julie Grant was suggesting that people who are following the case and have formed an opinion, but not the opinion of those that are standing in front of the courthouse, mind you, but sitting at home and want to contribute to this pool. What is she talking about? What is she talking about? Is she, because the people have already been selected. I mean, like the jurors like that have been summoned, have already been summoned. Now it's a process of elimination. What the fuck are you talking about? Is there a sign-up sheet? Exactly. Are you expecting that these good Samaritan potential jurors come up and go, hey, I'd like to be a juror because I think Karen Reed is guilty. Can I volunteer to be a juror? I got to hear this one more time because that's amazing. This is mind-blowing shit, bro. Like, this shit is amazing. The thoughts and all the pauses. Look, I can't get a pause that's not awesome.
Jury selection. I wanted to ask you about something I enjoyed.
Hold on, my SIR.
Enjoyed listening to you so much about how you really dive in and have talked a lot about illusions that have been presented in this case in particular to try to convince the public. And when you think about it, who's really in that jury pool? I'm wondering if the people who are at home, not at that courthouse, not engaging in spewing hate online, I'm wondering if those people are going to come out and present themselves as the fair-minded, honest, good citizens that you would want on a jury who aren't looking to take the case one way or another. I'm wondering if we're just not hearing from those people, if that's going to be our pool. Curious, who do you think is going to get picked for the pool?
Well, I mean, we think that everybody, when we talk about true crime, follows true crime, but not everybody follows true crime or even court TV. So we're looking for someone not who so much doesn't know about Karen Reed, but doesn't have a set opinion and can look at the evidence in a fair-minded, rational way that doesn't think, what if something really improbable happened, and hasn't been touched or influenced by Karen Reed and her enablers' innocence fraud campaign.
Exactly, Roberta.
You see what she just did right there? See the little mind games? Oh, I'm on TV, so I'm going to manipulate the viewer's fucking brain. Like we're stupid and we don't see that shit. Nobody There's no innocence fraud campaign involved. Like, they're making it sound like the innocence fraud campaign is involved in this. But she's using the words to describe Karen Reed's support. But she used an actual organization's name to describe Karen Reed's support. Very manipulative. Extremely manipulative, or at least an extreme attempt at manipulation. But I'm on to you, Roberta Glass. I see through you, Roberta Glass. Do you see what I did there, Roberta Glass?
You want somebody who's not going to have been influenced or looking to tank the case in any way. And I'm just wondering if what we see, we see people outside, and sometimes the most obnoxious and loudest people, are not the reflection of the community. And Roberta, I'm curious, you've talked to a lot of people, done a lot of interviews and work on this case. Curious if you think what we see out there is truly a reflection of the community in Dedham.
Oh. I think some of it is. I think she does have some support, but I think it's probably exaggerated. I think it's a very well-crafted, well thought out, well-funded
Today, Junior,
campaign, propaganda campaign. I think most people, I think most people are curious about the case, and I don't think the majority are the Free Karen readers. No, not in that community. Although I do think she does have her supporters. Yeah.
Roberta, thank you for that. Excellent points. Here's what I want to do. I want to play for you all a clip that has really circulated and gone viral. Dave Portnoy, the head of Barstool Sports and the owner of Miss Peaches, who's beloved online, has taken notice of the case and started talking about it. Let's take a look.
Get ready with the Karen Reed stuff. You just said she's guilty, so just get ready for that crowd. That's the craziest crowd of all.
Are you afraid of Turtle Boy?
Me? No, I'm friends with Turtle Boy and I are buddies.
I didn't. I said I would not vote her guilty, but if you done that, I think she did it.
I think the weirdest thing of all, she's doing this right now.
This is crazy.
That's what I don't get.
She does seem fairly unsympathetic that the guy's dead.
Okay.
Homie, the hat looks better on me right now. And that's a sad thing, my friend. That's a sad thing.
So that was just a portion of the conversation. Melba, you were just hitting on how you have to be living on another planet to have not heard about this case. And especially after the investigation discovery doc, more and more people are digging in and weighing in on this. Would you mind speaking to the idea that I think it's often overlooked? It's okay for someone to have heard about the case or thought about it or, maybe formed an opinion. What isn't proper in having someone on a jury?
Well, what's not proper is for you to come in already with your mindset as to what the verdict is. Because remember, when you come in to a case, what you hear, what we see reported on Court TV and other outlets is not the entirety of the case. You're not necessarily hearing every single piece of evidence that the juries heard in the first trial. We heard bits
and honestly, man, like I'm not ready to talk shit about that dude yet because I don't really know what he sounds like to me, honestly, because if we're as well versed in the case as we are, we've seen this 100 times. And all he's coming off as is somebody who heard a couple of things and then let his mind fucking latch onto those couple of things where the other stuff just becomes noise and the other stuff is actually what's exculpatory. And so he's thinking, there's this wrong with the investigation and that wrong with the investigation, but okay. Still, she was drinking and then, she said, I hit him. So he's taken that kind of shit as fact without questioning the sources. And he's not taking in he's not taking to account all of the information that you would pretty much have to have following the case in real time and absorbing it like a snowball as you go, because absorbing it all now going into it for the layman is going to be very difficult because there's way too many names. It's a lot like, I mean, this is way more complex than the Daybell Vallow case. The Daybell Vallow case, I had a hard time because I wasn't following it from the beginning. And then I got into it late and there were just so many fucking names. You know, so many names. And it was really hard to follow. This case, if I hadn't been following it for the last year and a half, you know, if I had been following this case for the last year and a half, I'd have a really hard time catching up. A real hard time. So, you know, you got to take it easy on the people that don't have law degrees who are just now taking an interest in this case. Because the thing is it's rich in sparks. Meaning like those things that I always say are just a drop in the bucket of things that you could pick out of a hat, you know, as far as what's wrong with this case. Each one of those things is a spark in somebody's mind to take interest. A spark that could start a flame where they go down a rabbit hole of one thing after the other that they're finding wrong. So this case is rich in sparks for people who are new to the case. All you got to do is just catch the right spark. And I mean, it's seriously, it's like an ocean to a surfer with waves. There's always going to be a wave. It's just a matter of catching your set and then you're able to fucking go. And once you go, you're not going to be able to stop. So, and nobody with any common sense is going to think that Karen Reed is guilty of this crime. Nobody with any sense of patriotism at all whatsoever is going to think that she should be even prosecuted at this point. Like that's the whole thing, is before you even get to the point. That happened to me. Before I even got to the point where I decided that I felt that Karen Reed was absolutely innocent, factually innocent, no doubt in my mind that she's innocent. Before I even got to that point, I had already reached the point where I thought she should go free. The system failed. The system failed John O'Keefe, and the system failed John O'Keefe's family. That's a fact. The system failed. And the system is failing. It's that not only failing Karen Reed, the system is attacking Karen Reed in order to not take accountability for its failure. I'm going to say that one more time. The system is attacking Karen Reed in order to not take accountability for its failure to get justice for Boston police officer John O'Keefe. That is, in a nutshell, what is happening right now. We're still waiting on. Hold on, man. I mean, has everybody just stopped streaming this? I might just wrap this up for the day because I would really like to go to the gym. I would really like to go to the gym. Especially since I ate 5 donuts. But yeah, I'm not seeing that any channels right now are even streaming this anymore. But what we can do is check in on my correspondent, who we haven't checked in with in a long time. Hold on a second here. Gotta check in with my correspondent. MC Frosty,
3.5
y'all.
grams, whatever. And
MC
I get there,
Frosty, y'all.
and the fucking sale's over. Like, they're like, oh, that was from yesterday. I'm like, fuck. This weed store has like nothing there. Like 4 different kinds of flour, fucking 5 kinds of pre-rolls.
Word.
Did I get my license done? No, I'm gonna just wait till August. Wait the full year to get my license.
I feel you, bro.
They're okay with me having my G1 for this place.
All right, cool, man.
Okay. No, but I've been doing like online training. It's just like so we're obviously a contractor. We get contracted by companies to go and spray their weeds. So we just have to be familiar with all of their safety stuff. I had to do like my WMIS, which is like
don't die, dude.
For chemicals. WMIS, what is that?
Come on, buddy.
Hazardous materials.
Hazardous materials. Hey, you guys remember RoboCop? I'll buy that for $1. You fucking shit, dude. Oh my god, dude. What fun. What fun. All right, guys. I'm gonna wrap this up. I think we'll just stay updated. Maybe I'll go live again later tonight. I don't know. We'll see. Have no idea. But either way, I'll find an excuse to go live tomorrow. Either way. So, guys, you guys are absolutely fantastic, man. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Make sure to hit the like. It means a lot to me if you hit the like. It really helps me out. And also, if you're new subscribers, I really hope you're enjoying the channel and continue to do so. Thank you for subscribing. Make sure to hit the notification bell so that you know when I'm going to go live, because I go live on the fly all the fucking time. I got to say, man, you guys are absolutely fantastic. Thanks for all the support. You guys are amazing, man. So kind. You guys are absolutely fantastic. That's it for me. I am you. You are me. I love you guys very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.